Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 422. I didn't realize this until Josie asked me. She said there's 2 Spawncasts in a week, and I realized, oh yeah, we did. I posted the one on was that Wednesday, I think, right? Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere in there. It was like in the middle of the week, and that was from Too Many Games, so a bit of a delayed release there. But Josie got all the stuff together. Which how big were the files?
It took up like 300 gigabytes on my SSD. It was insane.
I have no idea how they have 300 gigabytes worth for an hour. I guess because they have multiple angles and it's all
There was 2 angles though. I was like, how the hell? It's just 2. Like I've had, I don't know. There's been less in like feature films.
Live stream it next time.
That's kind of crazy. Then if it was,
can we set that up? I wonder if we could even do that. They live stream it on the Too Many Games thing, but I don't know if we can do that.
They do live stream on Too Many Games. I'll ask for next year if I can set up the thing I run into with that though is then you have to sign into just a random computer with your YouTube account. And that always kind of like in the back of my mind, I'm like, is this a good idea on like some random person, not random person's lap, like a laptop. And then I don't know where it goes after that and what I left behind with it. You know what I mean? It's like you're logging in.
You can just get a stream key.
That's a good point. I could probably do that too, right? Do like a temporary stream key that I can just change after that. That's a good point. Yeah. Maybe I can look into that to see if they would allow me, because when we went there for this year, there wasn't anyone but like before us, I think. So we were on stage like an hour before and we could have easily set all that up. So I'll ask them next time, because people were asking if we could. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, Rax. Bring a laptop. Yeah, I could also do that. But that's a good idea.
You could literally do it straight off of mine too.
Yeah, because I just stream it. That's what people are asking for, is if you could just stream it and that's it.
300 gigabytes. I'll just be like, nah, I'm good, John. Just I would have been like, nah, I'm good. I ain't dealing with 300 gigabytes.
I mean, these are like they're like terabyte SSDs though, so you just like go off of these, so it's not that bad, but it is not. Yeah, it wasn't ideal.
It's the principle.
I know. It was also like I was editing my like other video at the same time, and that like project file was 700 gigs, so it was like really teetering the line the entire time.
Cutting it close. Oh man, this can you imagine how much space Call of Duty is going to take on Switch 2, especially if you download both Black Ops and Warzone? Well, it'll probably be pretty low. Actually, I think it'll probably be like 70 or 80 gigabytes on the Switch 2 if it's just those 2. It's when you start trying to load everything that you get into like the 200 to 300 gigabyte range. So, but we'll see. Anyway, fun show tonight. Celia like rushed home because she was so excited. He's back now. She's here. Celia, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Avoided LA traffic, so that was really nice. I left right as it started to slow down, but I was getting close to home, so I was like, okay, cool, made it. I'm here with 1 minute to spare. So thanks for having me. Happy Saturday, guys.
Good to have Celia here. You were streaming yesterday, actually.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. I was gonna play Pokemon Snap, which would have been really cool. And then there was just something going on with the ROM. So I was like, okay, we're gonna play Banjo-Kazooie because I love Banjo-Kazooie. And so many comments of, this Pokemon Snap isn't how I remember it to be. It was really funny. It was a good time. And that's on Game and Talk.
I think it's time to get a capture card over there to you. So you could just hook up your Switch 2 now.
I know, right? Dude, I am getting with the times. Yeah, so fun little announcement. I'm officially a Switch 2 owner. Thanks, Spawncast.
Got it for the birthday. Our Josie like made an appearance with it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she tricked me. Like, did she tell this story to you guys?
No.
Like, what this?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So you think I would have learned by now? Because I was like, oh, I'll get a Switch 2 eventually. Like, but until then, like, maybe I'll win it or something. I don't know. And then Josie messaged me and was like, hey, I'm doing a Switch 2 giveaway on my channel. Like, do you want first dibs to enter? And I was like, heck yeah. So I entered, and then I was like, can I like enter with my like sock puppet accounts too? And I didn't do it because I was going to do it later, like close to the deadline. But I have like 7 other YouTube account things.
Okay, scam artists out here.
No. The reason for that, okay, I'll give after I tell the story, I'll give a reason of why I have those. But anyways, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to make a note to enter this. And so like, Josie comes to my birthday party. I'm like, yay, Josie, cool, awesome. And then she hands me the gift. I'm like, that's great. And I was like going to put it on the couch and be like, I'll look at it later. And she's like, are you going to open it? And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to open it. And then I looked in there and it's a Switch 2. And I looked at her and she was like, you won. And I'm like, wait, hold on here. And it went full circle. So yeah, did not win it, was gifted it. But thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, but the reason for the sock puppet accounts, okay, is that, okay, so as we know, I work in marketing. And when we're doing a campaign and I need to reach out to like YouTubers that I don't know yet, I have to look in their little description thingy for their address, their email address. And for that, after you like check 6 of them, YouTube's like, you've done enough for today to like avoid spammers. But it's like, no, I need to collect more emails. So I'll like switch account and then I have 6 more tries. And so I have just a bunch of those so I can like game the system and just collect email addresses. So that's why I have them. But I also use them for contests because, you know, why not?
You might as well.
I have them.
That's
there.
The real reason why you have them. That you're
OJ, I did that with your contest, by the way. There was like 20 like Celia B's. It'll be like Celia BE, then like 4 E's, and then 5 E's. If you look, search for it. There's a lot of Celia.
I got a Donkey Kong giveaway right now. So everybody watching, I'm giving away 3 digital copies of Donkey Kong. So you guys can all go enter. Go subscribe and enter. Do the sock puppets, I guess, right?
Wait, okay. All of them are subscribed to you already. Does that have my chances?
Well, you got to comment on the post on my community page. So you got to. And then I pick some winners randomly from there. So we got 3 copies. How randomly
are we talking? Are you doing this?
Super random, yeah.
Okay.
Or I got one of my mods. They just pick one out for me. So
okay,
so, yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Oh my god.
OJ, how's it going over there? Good to have OJ back. It's been a couple
good.
Weeks.
No burners, no burner accounts. You know
what?
I'm straight up. No burner. We ain't out here like Celia.
I use it for good and contests
and cheating. I'm just
support women's rights and wrongs. Okay.
Yeah. God forbid a girl has hobbies. Okay.
Yeah. Let a girl have a good time once in a while.
Absolutely. I agree. So yeah, I'm doing good. Go enter my contest. Subscribe to the channel. Use your puppet accounts like Celia. It's all good.
That's my official endorsement. Like
yeah. Hit him with the thumbs up. Go win Donkey Kong. We got 3 copies though, so we got a lot to give away.
DK out this week coming up. We are less than a week away. It's Thursday. Thursday it'll be out. I kind of like the Thursday at releases because I'm thinking Friday and then oh wait, it's Thursday. All right, good. Day earlier. Wait a minute.
You don't think Nintendo should go back to Sunday releases?
Oh gosh, the Sunday releases were the worst. Because at that time, when they did Sunday releases, I remember the big one was Pokemon, but at retail, we'd have to try to get the games by Thursday because that's the only time FedEx or UPS came by. And if we didn't, then we wouldn't have pre-orders for Sunday. It wasn't like, oh, they'll deliver it on Sunday. They didn't run on Sunday. That was it. You were in trouble. If you didn't have that thing Thursday, you were in trouble.
Let's say like back then I was working like 9 to 5, like hardcore, and like sometimes I'd be working overtime. So I didn't even have any. Like Sundays, it'd be like I'd be exhausted, and then like and I'd just be like, man, I don't really feel like doing anything on Sunday. Like I gotta wait. I don't have a weekend. I gotta go back to work on Monday.
Right.
It was terrible. Like Sunday I got wake up, go to church in the morning. So it's just like, it was just I hated it back then.
Thursday works. I like Thursday. Thursday's good.
Yes,
Thursday's good. Which actually we have DK out this week. First thing up, what do we think what's the Metacritic prediction for this?
93.
I assume those scores are going live either Tuesday or Wednesday, 15th or 16th.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go. It's gonna be something like 90, but maybe like 91, 92.
I want to go into the 90s with this, so but everyone else went into the 90s. I'm gonna go 89 just to be like the low. I'm gonna come in on the low end since everyone went to the 90s, but like just barely. Like somebody's gonna come in with that review that's like it dropped to 40 frames. It's a 6 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair. It
Too
could
much
happen.
Bonanza.
Yeah, that weird thing where like it comes in at 90, and then jumps 91, then jumps back to 90, then like a week later it ticks down 1 point to 89 or something like that. Like as averages come in. But I do kind of think it's gonna be the 90s though. I'm gonna bring up the low end then with the 89. but those reviews will be out this week. I'm really curious to see how it goes because people are looking at this as like maybe one of the game of the year noms if Nintendo really nails it like you expect the part of the Odyssey team to do. Yeah, actually a lot of 90s in the chat for prediction.
90, I'm thinking like 91.
96. Wow.
94.
Going
We'll see who
for
wins.
94. Okay.
Whoever
okay.
wins gets it for free.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the closest,
91,
do it. I'll so what we just put in, like everybody puts in like what, 15 bucks or 20 bucks, and then whoever.
I think that's the bet.
Okay, so hold up, let's do that. I want to do that. So
too. Wow.
What's your official? I need your official one. Like, what are you saying? Like, calling it on the dot. Say it.
I'm in the Price is Right, so I'm going 89.
89. Okay, Josie.
I'm going 89.
93.
Okay. Somebody in the chat, like a mod or somebody, like one of my mods, because I know one of you guys are watching. Can you guys please write this down for me? That'd be great. Celia, go ahead.
Oh no, OJ, you said 91, right?
Wait, just go ahead.
No, we're doing the,
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Your idea.
Okay, it is true. Okay, so I'm gonna say, Josie, you said 93, right?
Yeah.
So I can't go 93. Okay. I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna go 92. I'm gonna go 92.
Okay, I'm going 94. So
okay.
Wow. Okay.
We're Price is writing it right now.
Wow, we are. Yeah.
Okay. Whoever's
closer, guys.
Yeah.
Is it closest without going over, or is it just closest? So if it's a 90,
I don't know.
then?
Yeah, you
win
guys
'cause I'm
boxed
1
me
point
in
away?
here.
I think it's just whoever's the closest, right?
Yeah.
Whoever's the actual closest. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
What if it's a
that'll work.
tie?
Then we split the game. We just break it in half.
Well, I don't. Is it possible to be a tie? Because you guys are 92. Are you guys 92, 93, 94?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what did I say? Did I say 92?
You said 92.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah.
Josie, you said 93, right?
Mhm.
I said 93. Okay.
So they said 94. So I don't think it could be a tie because if it's a 90 or an 89, or even like below an 89, I would win. And if it's anything around your cluster of 3, then somebody would win, or you'd be dead on.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
We'll find out.
This is the best one since like the Metroid Dread situation. I like it.
Yeah, I think we're all expecting DK to be good. It's just trying to pinpoint the. Oh yeah, when do we stop counting as soon as next Spawncast starts? So whatever it is, 9 p.m. next Saturday. That's the winner. Okay,
we'll cut it off by then.
Okay, because I figure it's going to bounce around on the day, maybe even the following day.
Yeah.
And when we're all wrong, we can just start arguing. It'll be real cool.
That'll be good content for everyone.
It's a 75. We're like, what?
That would be crazy.
Too much bonanza. I don't know.
Too much bonanza. 75.
Let's see. We did have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 that came out. It also went into Game Pass. So anyone out there has Game Pass, you can just download it now on Xbox or I guess on PC. I ended up picking up early on the Switch too, just because I was going to play it while I was at the beach. I had downtime in the hotel room. So I did play it there, which it worked fine for me without, I think before Activision had the thing where you had to sign, you kind of still have to sign into your Activision account, but it's not required. You can just skip past it. But I put actually a pretty good amount of time with it. Like I played all the way through 3 and I'm like halfway through 4. And I really liked 1 and 2. It's more of that. It really, really is. It's a 3 and 4 theme then, obviously. So I think it plays really well into the idea of if you have nostalgia for 3 and 4, this is going to hit really well for you. But if you liked 1 and 2 for what it was, like, it was cool, it may not hit as hard for you there. But so far going through it, they changed 4 from kind of the open-ended nature to 2-minute runs. And they allow you to expand the time, and for some of it, you kind of need to. It feels like so. They attempted to fit it into a box that I don't think it's necessarily set for, but it's still very fun. Like I've had a good time with it, but it's not something that's like I think 1 and 2 had such a big impact because Tony Hawk was back. It was this cool new thing while bringing back the old levels into this like kind of new era. And they add new skaters in. So there's a whole bunch of skaters that I don't even really recognize. So I guess for them, this is like an incredible opportunity. And they managed to get Bam Margera in at like the last minute. He actually explained it there's a VGC interview, I think that happened 2 days ago. And he explains that he just went to a skate park where Tony Hawk and a couple of, I think like Bucky Lassick and a couple other people were just skateboarding, just having fun filming. He shows up. They're like, oh, you're actually like not messed up and you can skateboard again. Do you want to be in the game? And like that was it. So they made a call apparently from the skate park and got him in. So it was like last.
Nice.
He's actually a patch. You have to download him to get him in. So it was like that close to cut off. But it's been pretty fun. A lot of unlockables. I'm so used to going to these games and it being like, hey, these are going to be things you can buy extra, like packs for skins or what. Nah, it's all there. It's all unlockable. They have shops for boards, wheels, the characters. Even Michelangelo's in it, the Ninja Turtle.
Let's go.
Doomslayer's in there. So they had a lot of fun with that. But it's still Tony Hawk. Don't know how to play. Works well on the Switch too. It is 60 frames. It's not the gross 30 frames that we had from the Switch 1. So I think it ran well on handheld, and in docked mode, it upscaled to 4K. It also looks pretty clean. So if you're trying to figure out which way to go with it for which version, the Switch 2 version doesn't feel as compromised as how the Switch 1 version was next to, like the Xbox or the PlayStation 5 or anything like that. So I think it's a good recommendation at I feel like it's $50, I want to say. And strangely enough, it is all on the disc for the Xbox. Like if you just buy it, it plays completely offline from the disc install if you want to go that route. So it's actually a good physical release.
I got a Switch 2 copy. Got a Switch 2 review
That
code
too.
from them. So yeah. The digital, I guess, like if you buy the digital deluxe edition on Switch 1, you get the Switch 2 upgrade for free. So there's also
because I think otherwise it's just basically a code in a box digital situation on the Switch 2, I think. So in that instance, you should just go Switch 1 and then just get the upgrade. You may as well get both versions of the game then. But it's been pretty good. It's been fun. Create a character, skated around, racked up the points. So
Sweet.
I recommend it if anyone's just curious. It's on Game Pass, so if you have it, you may as well download it and try it out. I haven't seen it on the Series S. I've seen people play it on the PS5, the Series X, and the Switch 2. So I have no idea how that version runs.
It's fine. It's probably fine on the Series S because even like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, I think I was playing on the Xbox One and it was completely fine. On the base Xbox, or I was playing on the what was it? No, I was playing on the Xbox One S. That's what I was playing on when it came out. Xbox One S, I think, and it was fine on there. So I'm pretty sure this game's fine on the Series S.
Okay, so how's the music in 3 and 4 comparatively? There are some tracks that were missing that are somewhat noticeable. Like I feel like the one I remember from Tony Hawk 3 was, I want to say it was Ballroom Blitz. I think that's out. But for the most part, I think it still keeps a pretty good feeling of like that skater kind of punk mentality from that time period. But that is an issue people have mentioned. Like the music is so scattered. And some of the levels are missing, but then they added new levels too. So I don't necessarily want to spoil what some of the levels are because there were a few I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. There are some that are missing, and people have done the comparisons online, like outright. Here's the tracks, the music that's in the game. Here's what's not in the game. And then they compare the levels back and forth. Like there's a water park that they added in. That's actually pretty cool. And they already mentioned that in pre-release coverage, like previews and stuff. So I think that's core gameplay. It's still good. But at this point, I think we got to go to Underground next. If we're going to do another one, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like Tony Hawk Underground, got to go to it. So hoping that is the case.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, my mod already sent me the Metacritic thingy rating. So I have it down here. I have it 89, Spawn 89, Josie 93, OJ 92, Celia 94. Shout outs to the mods. Let's go.
All right, cool. We got locked in.
Got it locked in. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, cool. So let's move over to Nintendo. Nintendo with their investor Q&A, which they did release an English version, fortunately, because otherwise we were trying to put like the Japanese Q&A through like DeepL to try to translate it over, and it's always all weird sounding. In this case, though, they went through, made sure the meaning was correct and context, and there were some questions that people were mostly interested. There was like 18 questions. One that wasn't mentioned as much that I think would be kind of cool if Nintendo decided to go that route. One investor asked them if they would consider streaming their like entire investor briefing and Q&A online as it was happening, which Sony will do this. So they mentioned that, yeah, we see other people doing this. We'll look into it. I think it would be kind of cool if they just it would be at like, gosh, what would it be at like 2 a.m. or something, midnight force, something like that. I don't know. It's time zones all over the place for that. But I think it'd be cool because Sony just leaves theirs up. And I feel like sometimes we see these Q&As or these investor reports and they'll mention Miyamoto was smiling when they said this, or this person laughed, or they said it in like a certain kind of tone that doesn't necessarily line up with the plain text that we read. So I'd like to see how over exaggerated that, like, there was about F-Zero and they're all Miyamoto was looking around almost laughing. It's like, okay, I need to see what that actually looks like. So I feel like we get some over exaggeration sometimes from the reports.
Do you think they would like live translate that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or like we would just have to decode like.
Well, I think so. Again, Sony will kind of do that. They'll have a live translator there as well.
Oh.
So that would, because someone else also asked about like hearing impairment at these investor things. So there was actually quite a few questions about just overall availability to people with the investor, which makes sense as Nintendo becomes a bigger and bigger company as they are on like the stock market. You have some big investors who are going to ask questions of, hey, can you just make this a more available thing? Because I mean, a lot of these companies want to also do their own research, not just us who are like, hey, what do they think of game key cards? They're probably thinking, hey, what's the investment period over 20 years or, whatever. So these are things that I'm sure they would like to have access to. But I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know, just be able to go, okay, it was an hour long. Let's go and let's pull this up and see what it looked like.
That'd be great.
Another question had to do with the price point of the Switch 2. And I read this question back and it sounded kind of funny because so if you had to go, okay, the Switch 2 has a higher price point like past platforms, I kind of feel like you would think what platform would you think of? If you're like, okay, the Switch 2 is kind of an expensive Nintendo system. Is there another Nintendo system that comes to mind that felt kind of expensive when it came out?
Wii U, right?
I was thinking Wii U, right? Yeah, it's exactly what I thought. Because that was like, what, 300 and 350, wasn't it?
Yeah, at launch.
Yeah. And then you go back, inflation, all that stuff.
Or the the 3DS. Those would be the two systems that I would
250, right? When that came out.
The 3DS or the Wii U.
They said Nintendo Switch 2 has a higher price point than past platforms like the family computer system. The Famicom. I had to think about this. Was the Famicom I don't know. Maybe was the Famicom really expensive? That was not the system I would have thought of immediately.
It was built to be cheap, and so families could afford it. From what I remember, that was the whole point of the Famicom, was to just use the older technology, even at the time, older technology, and to make it affordable. And it came in a bundle. There was a bunch of different bundles in the way that they did it back in the NES. Or if you're talking about Famicom, obviously it came out in Japan first, and then it was years later here in the US. So yeah, it was never seen as a super expensive system, the Famicom.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was really confused about that when I saw. I was like, that's weird. The Famicom. All right. They answered back that it's true that Switch 2 is a higher price point than past gaming systems, and they're creating various opportunities outside of gaming systems for young children to engage Nintendo characters in game worlds, with one of the ultimate goals being that they will eventually play on our game systems. We're closely monitoring to what degree the price of the system might become a barrier.
That was don't be poor. Nerds. Because they have a museum, so they can say that. Yeah, we do have other opportunities, and then we have Universal Studios. And you can walk around the San Francisco Nintendo store if they want to.
You can even buy a Switch 1.
Yeah,
buy a Switch 1
for the same price it was 8 years ago.
It's gonna get not in Canada. It's gonna be more expensive.
Let's go. That's crazy.
Buy a Switch Lite. It's cheaper than
price going up.
Yeah. So buy a Switch Lite. There you go.
Wild.
That is what I assume, because they did get quite a few questions about pricing and attainability of this system. Maybe not now, since a lot of early adopters are buying it in the first year or two, but I assume by year 3 we start hearing maybe even rumors, or maybe they just announce it, some kind of light, like Switch 2 Lite, something like that. I assume they're going to try to get that price point down somehow. And a light system makes sense to try.
Yeah, they just can't answer that right now, because if they do have a light option eventually in the future, even if it's you look at the trends, it's what they do. It would cannibalize sales of people possibly joining the early adopter crew. So I get it, but also Yeah, it's more expensive.
I mean, it is. Yeah, that's kind of how they're rolling with it. Although I still wonder, because we were talking about this on Click R3 about the PS6 and the next Xbox, since we're about to go into 2026, and as much as people are kicking and screaming about next generation, it's going to start coming up in 2026, because that's 6 years almost removed from the PS5 and the Xbox Series coming out. And if you line that up from when the PS4 and the Xbox, that would have been 2019. People were talking about the PS5 and the next Xbox in 2019. So it's when that system comes out, people are thinking it might be $800 for the PS6. And then all of a sudden the Switch 2 at $450 doesn't actually look as expensive anymore. It's like, oh wait, just from standing still, it got cheaper. Let's see the other. Okay, so question 16 did ask about the game key card. And I think the notable thing is that investors know enough to ask about that. This is 4 questions after the person brought up the family computer system, the Famicom, as the comparable for the Switch 2. So it is interesting that even they are hearing about this game key card stuff, and they mention that there are opinions online around this hybrid physical digital software, and just asked for Akawa what his thoughts are on this. He explained what the game key card was, just outright, just made sure everyone knew what it was. And then mentioned that it's one of the software distribution methods we have introduced to accommodate the larger game data sizes on Switch 2. Compared to Nintendo Switch, software can be released in various formats. It will continue to work closely with software publishers on many fronts to ensure that they actively support our platform. Now, we've had reports that third parties asked for something like this, and they seem happy. At least one publisher seems happy with it. But the online view of game cards, if that game or that game key, if that game key symbol is on there, man, it is like honed in on. People are not, they do not like that. There's a mark on that game as soon as it shows up at retailers. I think with Nintendo, they have their 64 gigabyte cartridge, and they have apparently their game key card. And I think it kind of feels like they're realizing this as well, and maybe they're evaluating it, because they also sent out a survey to people, which Go Nintendo did. It looks like they got an update, and they managed to secure the 3 questions that were asked by Nintendo, with one being, prior to the survey, were you aware that there is a type of game card called game key card? Number 2 was, are you aware of these particular features about the game key cards? Just asking, okay, it downloads stuff. You need the internet. You need the space on your system. And then the 3rd question, after reading the explanation above, if there is a game key card and a digital release for a game that you wish to buy, which will you choose? As in, will you download it digitally, or will you actually go out to the store and buy it physically? And I think that's the biggest thing of all of this, is people will still buy the game. So when FromSoft's game comes out next year, I think people are going to buy it if it's a game key card or not. I'm more questioning, will it favor the digital split versus physical? Will more people just buy it digitally and sort of start leaving retail behind faster then because of the game key card? You buying it? Okay, Josie, let me ask you this. Third-party game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You really want it, okay? It's a game key card. Are you going to buy the game key card, or are you going to buy it digitally?
I just like the box, like, for the most part. Like, I like to put it, like, I don't know.
I saw you thinking about it. You're like,
I know. So probably, like, I'd still buy it, like, physical, but I maybe if it's something that I don't really care about that much, like, I'd just buy it, digital. But, like, I like to have my physical collection. So,
like the line it up on the shelf, the boxes and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me ask you this.
They're kind of nice now.
If it's code in a box, are you buying the code in the box?
No.
You buy it digitally. Oh, okay. The
Well,
code in the box is the worst.
Because that's just, I'm just going out of my way to get nothing.
We get the box.
Yeah, I guess it does contradict what I just said. I don't know. But frankly, I don't know.
Well, you can say, hey, the game key card, I can let someone borrow that. I can sell it. I can trade it.
Yeah, true, exactly. Yeah,
make that argument.
There you go. Maybe that's what it is. I don't.
Game key card.
I think I'll just hold on to physical media as long as I can if it's like a thing. But it just feels like you're going out of your way to buy something that doesn't even have like the game in it. So
right,
like code in a box is kind of insane. But
What do you think, Celia? Now that you have this, now you're a Switch 2 owner.
Yeah, now I guess I have to have an opinion or something.
You're one of them now.
Jeez, one of them. Anyways, okay, like convenience wise, digital makes sense, but I like being able to like physically share games with my friends. And technically the game key card is that. Does it frustrate me and make me feel like I'm wasting plastic? Yes. Would I prefer the physical? 110% yes. Like if I had a choice and it's all the same price, regular game cartridge, game key card, or digital, I always would pick the physical, obviously. It's unfortunately the half step and it does frustrate me, but I really like that I can share the game, like the entire game, not for a time limit. And I feel like this digital also should be that way for all platforms. Like my opinion of that is we should be able to share digital keys for everything. I understand why we don't do that, but if we're going to a more, I guess, digital space of things, it would be nice to have that as well. But.
Right. Yeah, I'm actually, it's really annoying that we haven't gotten to that point yet with how quickly digital has taken. I mean, on Xbox, I wouldn't be shocked if they came out tomorrow and we're 90% digital, 10% physical on the Xbox. Like, yeah, that sounds about right. I can't believe we don't have a way, as you mentioned, to do more with our digital copies of games, Yeah,
it just feels like such a waste with things because like it just sits in my library, like, and it just vibes there. And sure, my Steam library is full of games I really enjoy, but I don't know, there's like a bunch that I would love to share with my friends. Like, I don't know, when my friend Alana comes over, I'm always like, oh, check out this game, I have this one. And it's always really, really fun.
But how you feel over there, OJ, about the game key cards?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of game key cards. I'd like to have the full game on there just because I'm an old school collector as well. But I also realize that they provided a 64 gigabyte option and a lot of the developers still didn't use it. Right. I also saw what happened on Switch 1, where this doesn't get brought up a lot because I think people just didn't notice, but Switch 1, nobody used the 32 gigabyte option either. We barely have any 32 gigabyte options. So even if there was a lower one, how expensive are those? So they're not using the option. They're not using the 32 gigabyte. They barely use that. And the 64 gigabyte, they're like the games that could have been on there, Yakuza, Street Fighter, all that, like they didn't use those. So there's clearly an issue there overall. But yeah, I'd like to have the game on there, but I didn't buy anything so far. I haven't bought any game key cards so far. So I'm like hesitant. But I might in the future, depending on like what game it is. Like if FF7 Remake is a game key card, then like I gotta support that game. So like I gotta get that game, so I'll get that. So it's gonna be dependent on like how much I actually like the game or not,
OJ, out of curiosity, how many indie games did you buy physically on the original Switch? Physically?
A good amount. I think I've probably bought. Yeah, I have not Shovel Knight. Do I have Shovel Knight physically?
Do you have Shovel Knight?
I have Shovel
Knight. Is it up there?
No, I have Shovel. I don't know if I have it physical or not. I might have it on Wii U. I don't know if I think I definitely have the game. I have the game.
Okay, yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not challenging you on that, but it's just having that option. I know you said that not many developers used it, but having that allows for people, with lower price points for their games to have a physical. And unfortunately, right now, in the indie space at least, we're going to have to go the game key card route if we're going to have a physical in general for that. And that's really worrisome. And I guess having that acknowledgement of saying, oh yeah, I guess, there's problems and they didn't get the smaller sized cartridge. All it is hurting third party for not having that option.
I agree on that one. I agree. I'm just not sure if people would even use it. That's all I said. I'm just not sure if they would.
I think in this era, having that option would have actually, like for right now, I think that would have been an appropriate step over the game key card for having that. But that's just my opinion of how I see things.
No, of course. I agree. I'm not saying that I disagree with that. I'm just saying I don't know if I wish they would have used they're not using the options that are even there. Like even when it happened, like with the Switch 1, there were so many games that were so tiny. So they would do weird stuff to put them on cartridges. Like, what was it? Dark Souls Remastered. Like that game's on a 4 gigabyte card. and like it looks and sounds terrible because of that, you know. So they would just do these really weird things, or they'd make stuff like Mortal Kombat 11 where like it's like on an 8 GB cart and then like you download the rest of it, or like Hogwarts, or like all this weird stuff that they would do on Switch 1. On Switch 2, I wish that they have all the options available too. I think that would be great. I'm not saying that it wouldn't. I'm just not sure if they're going to, based off of what happened on Switch 1, like in terms of the file sizes of games. And I'm not talking about indie games for the most part. I'm talking about the bigger games, because indie games, it would be great if they had like a 16 GB option, right? And then therefore everything can just fit on that 16 GB. So that would be great. So I was kind of more talking about the bigger games that need the file size, not the smaller games. Yeah, because I bought a ton of physical indie games on Switch 1, and they're on tiny cartridges, you know. So that would be great if there was an option there for them as well.
I agree. I just had to like jump on that real quick, because like I guess like a lot of my focus is the indie market, and I'm so scared for what the physical market's going to look like in this generation if we don't get that option. And also what I'm worried about is the stigma for game keys. Like if that is your only option to have any type of physical, are indie developers going to do that? Because there is a stigma with it, and you know, and there's a massive amount of hate. Is that going to reflect the opinion of your brand because it is on that, and punish the studio for that, especially in a time where like, you know, a big PR mistake can actually affect whether your studio is there or not, you know, if people buy your game. I don't know. I'm just really worried.
Have we seen like indie games on a key card at all?
I haven't really. I don't think
there's no indie games on a key card. I would think that most people buy indie games digital, but I know that there is a market for physical.
There is.
Indie. Yeah, there is a nice market for physical indie games as well.
I feel like
I don't think we've seen no key cards for indie games yet. Not that I can, because there's not a lot of indie games on the Switch 2 that have like actually released on the Switch 2. Like not Switch 1 games, but just like actual Switch 2 games. There's not many indie games just in general.
I just think that like people are bashing third parties, like big studios, because they think that they can get the bigger cartridge and afford that or whatever, and or fix it and make it work. But I do think that there would be more understanding for like an indie studio. No,
I think people are going to get weird about it and hate on studios, because there's a lot of anger and pointing it at the studio, being like, you did this, when really it's like you look at the options and you're like, okay, is this a thing we can do? You know, and it's
right.
And it's like, is this something that is viable? Do we even want to go this route? You know, there's just a lot of conversation, you know, within studios to look at what makes the most sense. Mm-hmm. And it just worries me in general, because like I am a physical collector. I love having physical games, and I push for physical. I love it. And it just, I don't know. It's just the way that things are going and the accessibility, and, you know, even at launch, there are no, you know, real options for physical indie or game key card indie. So we don't really know what the climate's going to look like yet. All we can do is speculate. But from seeing the very loud majority of people feeling very frustrated about this, saying like, I will judge your studio and I will not buy your game, even digital. It's a scary thing, because it's like, okay, should we just not even have that at all? Like, do we just avoid it and not have that headache? Or, you know, or will public opinion change? We'll have to see. And I don't know. I feel like you can be frustrated with the platform that give the options. Don't be mad at the studio. We're just trying to put our games out to as many people as possible.
Totally. I feel like people, like, it'll be really interesting to see what, like, the first indie studio to use a game key card and what the reception is. Because, like, in my head, it's just like, okay, like, that's okay. They don't have the means to, like, do all this other crazy stuff that people would want. But I guess, yeah.
People look at all studios, unfortunately, sometimes, like even indie, when you don't have those opportunities and it's you get something, and like that market share in general to get into retail is very hard, the entry point for that. So I don't know. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm going to side with indie, but I'm curious what that's going to look like. And my heart goes out to that studio having to deal with being the first, because it's always scary being the first.
Yeah.
So you could bring up a good point though about that, Celia, with the indie games that would not need the 64, even maybe want that. They'd be fine with like a 4 GB cartridge. Yeah, because I assume that one of the issues, someone asked why aren't there more sizes? To my understanding, the read speed of these cartridges, they're just not really produced at lower sizes. Like in terms of in large quantities, large enough quantities to make it worth it for a Macronix or someone to actually produce them. But the solution that I was thinking of, and again, this is up to Nintendo, and if they decide to go this route, even if the read speed is slower, I do wonder if there's a possibility that you get a cartridge, you pop it into the Switch 2, and it spends a little bit of time. And honestly, if it's coming off the cartridge, it might not take as long. But literally just installing or copying the game to your system, and it just reads off the internal storage. Because the hang up that I've seen is just it's not on the cartridge. I need it to be on the cartridge. It's not even like necessarily as much the downloading stuff. It's like I need the game on the cart.
So is that like just a worry that like in the future, like you just won't be able to activate whatever's in there to download it? That's why people are upset. Okay.
Yes.
It's the preservation of games, not only just our collection, but like in general, you know, if, for an example, like, you know, we're all at Too Many Games, and, you know, that's a retro focused convention, and people are, you know, buying and selling games. Is there going to be a time when all the I guess the disc rot and cartridge rot and all that good stuff is gone? And what are they going to be nostalgically looking back at the Switch 2 and then have game key cards that are just shelf items because they can't play it? And then like also for that, you know, re-releases. We've been having that problem where like certain games won't have, you know, licensing abilities to be able to keep re-releasing that game, or studio closures. And there's been a whole lot of that. And it's just scary not being able to access the game, not only, you know, for entertainment purposes, but like at the end of the day, video games are also an art. I'm really passionate about this, and I'm really frustrated and angry. So yeah, a lot of thoughts, a lot of feels.
Yeah, I just have been like really not plugged into this conversation, like that conversation online, I guess. So then I just
The game key card
all the
stuff.
aspects. Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like every time I just hear people like really upset on the internet, I'm like, oh, okay, goodbye. I'm not gonna get into
Well,
this.
Yes, that has kind of like that's sort of how it's been online, where you're kind of trained to be like, okay, people are mad on social media, but is it worth being mad about?
Yeah, but like what's new?
Yeah, in this case, there is a lot of interest in the game key card space. So, you know, I'd actually recommend, Josie, if you look into it, to do a video about it and just give your thoughts on it. People seem very interested in kind of the idea of
research
game key
it.
cards. Honestly, it sounds bad, but even if you like pick one up and just kind of experience like installing the game and stuff, it might be worth it there. Like I bought Street Fighter because I cut the cartridge open just to compare it. And like that was an interesting experience. So
okay.
let me go over, especially now, by the way, Josie, because it seems like Nintendo is hearing maybe some of the noise online about it with some of the stuff they're sending out with the survey or even the investor Q&A stuff.
I wonder if like
they're not going to do anything.
You don't think like
don't
they
think
would
so?
just like come out with like a smaller cartridge or something?
They're not gonna. Here's, and I'll tell you the reason why they're not gonna do anything. Nintendo took a 8 gigabyte game and put it on a 64 gigabyte cartridge with Donkey Kong. That's why they're like, well, we're gonna put all our games on there. That's their issue. That's what they're gonna, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. If the third party developer wants to do it, they'll pay the money to do it. Marvelous, they did it. Marvelous is not a big studio. They put all their games on 60. They're not a big studio, and they still did it. Capcom and all these other companies, well, not everybody, but all the like Sega, Capcom, and all, they have more money than Marvelous, and Marvelous still did it. You know, so it's gonna
How
be
much
up
is that game? Just out of my curiosity.
It's 70. It's a full 70 for that.
Yeah,
game.
we haven't seen any game less
There you
than
go.
70 be a 64 gig card. I feel like the cutoff for that is 70 just to make sense. Even Marvelous admitted in their statement that it was kind of a risk to do it, and they're not even sure if it's going to work out. I was like, take a
Guardians
shot.
of Azuma seems to be doing okay. There's not a lot of copies, but I mean, like, I don't think they printed a ton of those copies for the game because it's always like in super low stock or just
Right.
they only have like a few left or something. But I mean, it's a great game. It's on it's the Switch 1 and Switch 2 version, so it's
all in one cart.
Yeah, it's all in one cart, and it's great. But I don't think it's selling better than Street Fighter. I don't think it's selling better than Split Fiction. I don't think it's selling better than the games that are like on Game. I don't think it's selling better than any of those games. I think Street Fighter and Split Fiction are doing, based off of what I'm seeing, Split Fiction and Street Fighter 6 are doing considerably better than Guardians of Azuma.
So game key cards is just like an answer basically to keep games cheaper, right? Because I mean,
Yes.
every studio would basically have to do that. right? Like
Yes.
Mina would be like $70, and that's not something you guys would want to do. So like
it has to be more
interesting.
expensive because the word's been the cost of the cartridge is like $15 or $16 or something.
Lord.
Yeah, it becomes kind of a problem.
Yeah.
So
Which it was the same issue on to a degree, not as bad on Switch 1, but that's why you saw like whenever we got like a big game, it would always be like a partial cartridge or it would just be a code in a box because they're like, yeah, we're not paying for that 32, you know. So that's what happened on Switch 1. But Switch 2, the quality of the system is much better, so that the file sizes have jumped up. Like NBA 2K, that's like 70 something gigs, right? I think, or like WWE, it's like 70 something. Madden, like they're all going to be feature parity. Whereas on Switch 1, they would just cut stuff out of the game and make it fit on a cartridge, make it fit on like a, or did they even put on a cartridge? Was it on a 16?
No, with like NBA, you had to download it.
Yeah, you have to. So they still don't even pay for anything then.
No.
And, you know, but like now the file sizes are getting out of control. Like I think Split Fiction is like 70 something gigabytes. So yeah, that's what's happening right now. Like with
so Nintendo's strategy seems to be if we put our stuff on 64 gigabyte cartridges and we produce enough of these things, cost will come down. But they need to get to the point where they produce enough of them for costs to come down. So it's like early growing pains for this. If it's ever going to materialize, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
And it's also going to be based, I think, off of individual companies and how well that they do. Let me give you guys an example. Fantasy Life I, no physical Switch 2 version. Game's doing really well on Switch 2, charting at the high, selling well. They said, we're going to do a Switch 2 version. So they actually have Fantasy Life like a Switch 2 cart now. So I think it's also going to be dependent on some games doing really well or not. Like there might not be one originally, but then they do one later down the line. So I think that can also be a thing if the game sells well.
We will see. We'll see. We go over to some of the super chats here. Cody Bishop says there's an up-and-coming Nintendo YouTuber. It's me, Bo, who I think would be a great guest on the Spawncast. He reminds me of John. Okay.
I know him. He's great. He's a physical collector. And he also just talks about like Nintendo games and stuff too. He has a very interesting opinion on key cards. So this talk would have been great to have him on because he buys all them and like argues with those people.
No. Casual Noob Gamer says 7 sock accounts. Are any of the socks named Arlo?
Whoa.
Okay, I just got that.
You own Arlo? That'd be crazy.
Celia's like speechless.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you guys just saw me pantomime and do all. I've been talking to you guys for a little bit.
Oh no!
I did see you talk a little bit, but I thought you were saying like, "I can't believe somebody said that." I thought you were doing like muttering it under your breath.
I was responding. I'm like, man, these people are rude. I was like, yo, imagine I was Arlo and I just like did this, and it's actually just a blue puppet the whole time. Whoa.
Game Cato says, how come you never cover PSVR 2? I have bought 125 games on it so far, and it's so incredible being inside games like Hitman and Resident Evil 4. Mind blowing. I gotta be real. I don't know a lot of people who have a PSVR 2. So it's kind of tough.
Let me give you the real reason, man. Ain't nobody buying that shit. That's the real reason why.
Well, the real reason as a YouTuber is that you're gonna get no views either.
You're gonna get no views. Ain't nobody buying that crap, bro.
Yeah.
I think the telling thing is Sony did their business presentation. You know, a bunch of slides, the whole thing. Did not mention PSVR 2 one time. So
it was no hype around it anymore.
No, I honestly 125 games on it. That's quite impressive. I didn't know there was 125 games for it.
He just has every single one, I think.
It kind of feels that way. I mean, look, when it works, it is really cool, but it is that situation of trying to convince people to even use it. But RE4, like Resident Evil is impressive in it, but it's like, hey Josie, go buy the $500 PSVR 2. So you know what I'm talking about here with RE4.
Yeah.
Shoring in for wow, really? Comment on over from OJ's channel. Anyways, enjoy the weekly podcasters. I'm not usually able to catch the live stream. Wow, shout out to Chris.
The Shriner Dog. He's a trucker, so he's important, man. He gets us a lot of our products and stuff, and he's driving all over the place. So shout outs to Chris. And yeah, he's from Wyoming. He's in Wyoming. He goes all over the place, man. He's in Seattle. He's in Wyoming. He's in Utah. He's all over. So shout outs to you, Chris.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna start reading out people's like locations necessarily when I saw them.
No.
Super chat.
Yeah,
do I just read these?
He's a trucker. He's driving all
Okay.
over the place, man.
Chris says sorry about the prior typos. Don't know what happened there. Well, shout out to Chris. His music. Yep. Let's see. Johnny says, can you guys use your connections bring back Skull Monkeys? Don't know if I have the ability to do that, Johnny. Someone else has Skull Monkeys. Kevin says Bam Margera for Smash Brothers.
Let's go.
That's so funny. I'm one degree of separation from Bam, and there was this girl that would say that Bam's her godfather, and I'd be like, okay, because she would like make up stories, and then because she would like pathological lie all the time in middle school. And I remember she had a birthday party, and it turns out she really does know Bam. Like that one was not a lie. So I always think about he was hanging out with her dad. Like it was like a whole thing, and like they're friends. They grew up together. They've known each other. She has like family photos. Like he's like actually her godfather. So I don't know. I always think about that when Bam's message or mentioned.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I'm like, what if she wasn't lying about anything? Anyways.
Mari says, now Switch One many said $299 was also too expensive, especially when compared to PS4 and Xbox One. That is true. That came up. And then we had some developers, studios were like, I can't believe they got all that in the box for $299. So it was like kind of all over the place with that, but that was definitely something that came up. Like $299
that was in the Switch One will fail stuff. That was one of the points. I think Forbes wrote that. Many people said $299 is too expensive for it, so it's going to fail because of that.
Johnny, here's the old Bam Margera and Violella. Whereas Sean to sing "Killing Loneliness" by him. He said he was like tired, or I don't know. He was tired from his nap today.
He does a lot. He's a really busy guy.
I think they did Analog Allies like 3 hours ago or something randomly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Pickle Rick says it's my wife's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Pickle Rick.
Happy birthday.
When do you think we'll see the first COD game on Switch 2 this year, or not till next year? Bummed I couldn't go to 2MG, too many games. I feel like we're supposed to see it this year, Call of Duty, so I'm a little surprised. I mean, hey, maybe in the next Nintendo Direct it pops up, so I guess keep an eye out for that. I memean, they did say that Black Ops 7 is going to come out with, I think, less of a marketing budget is kind of how they framed it. So it could just randomly get announced and be there. Andy Ackerman says juice.
What's up, Andy?
Jorge says, do you think the lack of lower storage for Switch 2 carts is a manufacturer choice or a Nintendo choice? How much do you think 8 to 32 gigabyte Switch carts would be compared to Switch 1 carts? Compared to Switch 1, I think lower storage, Switch 2 carts, manufacturer choice. Well, we have the lack of lower storage. Well, I think it's just the word's been that Micronix isn't producing low amounts of storage at those speeds in bulk. That's kind of been what the word has been. So I don't know what the solve is there, but it seems to put indie games in a tough spot. So Johnny says memory sharp as daggers pierce into the flesh of today. The suicide of love took away all that matters and buried. Is this supposed to be Sean singing this? The venomous gift you gave me, I'm killing loneliness. I assume.
Can you please sing it?
I don't think I can do that. Pretty sure.
Okay, next time.
Mac Mega says, don't get why Nintendo can't provide 8 and 16 gigabyte cards like they did on Switch 1. They can do the key cards for games that are bigger than that. Well, the game key card, I feel like if you have a 100 gigabyte game on the Switch 2, you're probably not putting it on a cartridge, but 8 to 16, like at least the 16 gig seems to be the middle ground that people want. Steven says, how difficult is it for devs to implement dynamic resolution upscaling in the games? Is it a huge overhaul of the game, an easy patch, or is it somewhere in the middle? That sounds like an MVG question. That's what it sounds like to me. That's a great question. How difficult is it if the game is already done? It's hard to say. I would ask MVG on that one. That's where Sean is. Superman Man says, my attention is split between Goldberg and y'all. He's watching Goldberg. How old is Goldberg now? Someone in the chat tell me how old Goldberg is.
Like 50 something, isn't he?
I don't know. I have to look that up. I think he is in his 50s. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Necro Banana says Solution for Indies might be doing a Switch 1 cartridge with a Switch 2 upgrade patch, if that is even possible. You all right over there, Celia?
No, fine. Don't look at me.
REX says, is it possible that part of the Xbox layoffs has to do with the state of American economy? Everyone is projecting a recession, if not depression. USA admin projected 100,000 jobs. It was 33,000 job loss in the trade war. I mean, probably.
Microsoft CEO is worth $1 billion, by the way, and he makes $81 million a year. So
not 1.2 billion. He's not worth that much. So
he's actually worth 1.1 billion. If you want me to get exact, he's worth 1.1 billion.
So not 1.3. So
a measly.
And he makes $81 million a year,
but not 90 million.
And Microsoft executives that make 20. I've looked it up. They make 20 something million to 15 million to. So I mean,
how does one become an exec? Asking for a friend.
Huh?
You have to be born into it, probably. It's probably
that's
nepotism.
definitely a nepotism thing.
So I mean, they got money. They have money. They have money to pay the people. They do.
Or he says, what do you think of the recent news on Miyamoto? Celia?
That's the viewing games as products thing. Oh. That's what he's asking.
Is that what it was?
I think it is, because like there was a Nintendo Nintendo Life article about that. And I read the headline. I didn't read the article, but shout out to Ollie. I think he's the one that read it. I really hope that's taken out of context. I do understand.
Oh, I see it.
That games are considered, at the end of the day, they are a product. Like every game studio is a business. And sometimes you have to make tough choices, whether to ship a game or whatever, because besides it being an art, you still need to, feed your devs, you know what I mean? Like you still need money to survive, unfortunately. And so I get that. I didn't read the article, so I'm just speculating, but I hope there's a big, but ... video games are also an expression and a vehicle for art.
Okay, so it's somebody. Okay. It's
so what is it actually?
Imamura, who is commenting on how Miyamoto views. Miyamoto didn't necessarily come out and say, "I view this as a product." It's
this is why
commenting on how he views things.
Okay, this is why we take headlines as face value and not the full thing. I'm glad. Benefit of the doubt. I do, but at the end of things, I do understand that like products, it's a business at the end of the day. But I always think that video games are an art. It's how it's like the
same way that like movies are art, but it's like a huge business.
And music and literal like art, like
genuinely art. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty factual that video games are, because there's art in the video game. There's music in all the things that we consider arts. Overall. So I don't know. I've seen people that used to be like an old talking point, like back in the day too, where people talk about, is it art or is it not? Like, it seems like that argument or that discussion has been around for
anything creative is art, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you use creativity for is like
yeah,
like you could like even like coding to a degree is like an art.
Yeah, no, it is. It's literally an art. It's literal language too.
Right.
A finished product can have art.
AI
in
takes
it,
over.
It's just one of those.
Yeah, I guess that's when it becomes a product, when it's straight AI.
God.
Takes over.
So, this was like this discussion has been around for so long,
Let's see. This is from Callan Shaw. Indie Games says, could indies just do digital and deluxe physical?
Oh yeah, and then I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, let's say you're selling your indie game digital, and let's say it's a $14.99 purchase, and then the deluxe physical is a basic bare bones $70. Like that thing's just going to sit on shelves, and then adding to that price, it probably have to be well over like an MSRP of like $100, maybe $120 to offset what you would have in that deluxe. Like if it has like full limited run style trinkets and things. I don't know. I just feel like it's such a disadvantage to do that, especially when you're fighting for shelf space and even to get the minimum quantity order for those low runs. There's so much that goes into this, and I really hope in the future there's better options for developers because we need that. I don't want to see the death of physicals, especially since like on the Switch there were so many awesome indies you could get physical, and like it's such a joy to having that on my shelf. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on ranting about this. Sorry, guys.
Any Microsoft says it, say it right. John is juice. Yeah, like juice check.
There you go.
Juice. Let's see. We have Casual Noob Gamer says 6 out of 7 of Celia stock accounts are Microsoft execs.
Oh my god, imagine. Okay,
Damn,
if I was
hella rich.
If I was
Holy crap.
rich, there would be signs like working lighting.
Yeah. A microphone that isn't headphones.
Dude, no, this headphone, this one's broken, by the way.
Oh no.
Just the one.
I got this from a flight, so I kept it. I was like,
Huge.
can't waste.
If movies are considered from here, Ravita says if movies are considered a form of art, so are video games. Movie studios also seek profit at the end of the day.
Yeah, and both of our industries are currently crumbling because it's been a never-ending pursuit of profits, and there is a ceiling to that. Oh god.
Clayton Morris, shout out Clayton Morris, says just took S2 to Scotland for a few weeks, played Cyberpunk 2077 to completion, DLC included, and was really impressed with the performance in docked and handheld mode. The portability was pretty amazing. Yes, I mean Cyberpunk was such a good game for them to launch with because pretty much everyone seems impressed by that game running and being all in the cartridge. Yeah, see, like even Josie, have you played Cyberpunk before, Josie?
No, it's also still in the wrapping.
Whoa, unboxing. Go.
It's all in the cartridge, so it's
ASMR.
It's a good release. Oh, okay, she's unboxed.
Oh, shit, that's a big ass knife.
It's my hunting knife.
Ooh, what are you hunting?
Well, just
In the
lived
Amish woods?
I lived in a hick town for a long time, so I have a bunch of knives.
Why didn't you bring your knife to too many games?
On the flight?
Yeah, you and Sean could have just,
Bang. Oh,
there
shit,
it
they have
is.
a thing?
Yeah, you got stickers. Yep, they actually put stuff in there.
Oh,
You know, I was shocked Rune Factory had a manual in there.
It does.
That shocked me. Yeah,
The
they actually put
cartridge is cool,
stickers in
too.
there. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yep. It's all there.
Wow.
There's like a
You
patch
could
that they
do
did for
the-
bugs fixes and stuff, but there it is.
Wait,
Let's see those stickers. How those stickers look.
try it.
Let's see what they look like.
This is really good for your audio listeners. Audio listeners, there's
There it is.
stickers.
Wait, does the cartridge taste bad this time
Oh
around?
gosh, yes.
I don't want to lick this.
That's why I said
online.
try it. I'm like,
It
does
does.
Like the cartridge.
Wait, does the key cartridge, does the game key taste like anything?
It does. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. I was hoping they would have like alternate flavors.
Casual
Oh,
noob, if you
this is
give me that $2, maybe I will. But that's John's.
Wow.
People be asking you to do stuff on John's.
Really bad.
People be asking, "Hey, do this." I
Instagram.
donated. Do this. It's like, what the hell? Why do I gotta? Like,
Yeah,
why do I
on
gotta
John's
tap
stream.
dance?
I'm sorry.
Well, somebody else gets money. That makes no
Right.
damn
What
sense.
you should do.
Time out, guys. We have a really good point here. John, it's time for you to lick a cartridge. That person paid
True.
$2.
Yeah, make John lick the cards. Why?
I
Yeah,
did.
John.
Somebody else lick a card.
I did it on live stream when I first got the system. I was
But
like,
not
one of the
this
first people
live
to do it.
stream. Very
On,
rude of you.
People,
We have
people
to
do that all the
clip
time. They be
farm,
donating.
John.
It'd be
How
like,
are
yo,
we
do
gonna
something
do-
else.
Okay,
pop
you
off.
know, like mukbangs where people watch you eat. We need that with you and all your game cartridges.
All
Just like
game
biting
cartridges.
the cartridges.
Little like, meh.
They're covered.
I did.
It's covered in like ranch or something just disgusting, like the weird TikTok ones.
God.
Right?
can
Yeah.
confirm-
Does it taste better with flavors? Okay, I'm
It is a
sorry.
very bitter flavor, just like the Switch One.
What would you
cartridge.
pair it
Same
with
thing.
though?
Oh, I don't know.
Sriracha,
Bleach.
bleach.
Gamer Boy says I've been playing Klonoa Switch 1 physical, my Switch 2, and the graphics look great and looks like it runs 60 FPS. Enjoying the gameplay so far. Shout out to Klonoa.
That was real cool. Wait.
Going up there. Very good. Very good. So yeah, Josie, you'll have to try Cyberpunk and let us know what you think.
Yeah, I will. I've been thinking about streaming it, and then like YouTube wasn't connecting to OBS, and so it was like a whole
Okay,
thing that I
you're gonna stream it right away. Make sure you have. I think there's a certain mode you want to turn on because you will be surprised and YouTube will not be happy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yes. I just found out it's the junk mode, Josie. You got to be careful. They just straight up show the junk, right? So
Noted.
be careful with that.
Yes, make sure you have that. I think it's like streamer mode. Somebody in the chat can mention, maybe even Clayton. If you, I didn't know if you Clayton or if you were streaming it either, but there's an option I believe that you want to check before you start streaming. Okay.
Noted.
Okay. It is very much a mature rated game.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm a Nintendo
They're going
YouTuber. Who's
overboard
gonna
with
watch
that, though.
this?
Why do you need to customize?
Turn
your
off
junk?
nudity
That
in
makes no
streamer
sense.
mode.
Like what you were referring to, John, for Cyberpunk.
What?
You didn't.
I haven't played that game in a very long time, and I tuned out a little bit, and then I look up, and you're like, you have to check a box because it's a very mature game, and I'm like, oh yeah, Josie, you're gonna have to censor some stuff.
Like in the character creation screen, just go ahead and read the sliders that are there.
Yeah. Make a censor bar and place it.
So John, what'd you do with what'd you put yours at?
John's maxed out his boob size for sure.
I-
For sure.
I'm glad you went with that slider. That's the slider you went with.
Huge tits. Damn it, John.
Josie, you're gonna be caught off guard by those sliders. Josie, you're like, wait a minute.
Wait, can we have a live Spawncast react to that? We won't.
I'd have to stream.
It's just so we watch you.
Okay,
yeah,
so I stream to you guys and you react to it.
Yes.
You don't even have to put the screen up of the game. Just like Josie discovers Cyberpunk sliders for the first time, and it's a short of your facial expressions as you see what's happening on screen.
Let me know when you stream that. I want to watch it.
Maybe I won't now. I didn't realize how crazy this game is.
No. Now you have to. It's
oh, the game is it's up there with like a Grand Theft Auto mature rating kind of.
I've never played GTA
quite
either.
ridiculous. Oh man, I'm trying here. I don't know what else.
Nintendo and Mario games. It's similar to how you can get a shirtless Mario and Mario Odyssey.
Have you played?
There's
Baldur's
definitely
Gate 3?
shirtless, but it shows women shirtless.
Yeesh.
All makes sense.
I want to stream that.
Yeah, there's
The first mission, after Junkgate, after Junkgate, the first mission. You got to be careful. Yeah, watch the streamer mode on that one. Otherwise, you might get tagged for nudity.
Almix says had to pick between toying with a game engine or continuing marathon. Crash won. Then I saw you guys were live, so thanks for giving me an excuse to play art instead of learning to make it. Shout out to Almix. And Casual Noob Gamer says if you stream on Twitch, you can show nudity.
Good. Good.
Depends on how much you want to trust Casual Noob Gamer on that one.
Or if I want to stream on Twitch, that seems crazy.
Let's see. I think I got everything. I think we're good. All right, good stuff. Let's talk about Game Pass. Game Pass. I have Game Pass. Celia, you still have Game Pass?
Yeah, I do. I got the ultimate version, so I can play on my console too.
Okay. I don't know, Josie, you still have Game Pass, or
I do not.
Pause that? You pause it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I know OJ does not have Game Pass. Okay, so look, there's two of us that do, two of us that don't. All right, perfect. Right down the middle there. All right, Game Pass under fire this week because we had Christopher Dring show up and say that Microsoft told him that it's profitable if you don't count the first-party game development costs. And then he came back and said it is profitable with those included because they also count it with game sales. So everyone was going back and forth about Game Pass for about 2 days, saying that it wasn't profitable. Now everyone's unsure, and we're back to square one. But there were some harsh words, I gotta say. There was one from a previous Arcane developer, I believe, or studio lead, that mentioned Game Pass is just like a problem. Like it's bad for the industry. And this has continued to spiral out of control to where Game Pass, once again, in the crosshairs. Is it a problem for gaming? Is subscription services a problem for gaming? What do you think, Celia?
Well, that's a very loaded question. It kind of just depends how you look at it. I obviously the lens that I look at it in is like an indie developer, and we've released games on Game Pass before. We released Cyber Shadow. We also released where you could purchase it on the console. And we also had a year deal with it, and I'm looking at that and then comparing it to game sales in general on the Xbox platform. From our side of things, we considered it was a great addition. But our focus on things is getting more players to check out our games. So it made sense to us. On the larger scale of things, for a larger studio where, it has such a main like market focus where people are going to buy it regardless. Oh, it definitely can hurt because they're missing out on those sales. Oh, definitely. Like it's one of those. And also on the indie side of things, like, is it one of those things for Game Pass where are you releasing on other platforms? Is it going to cannibalize? There's a lot of things you need to think about on the indie space too when I say that. Yes, a bit larger, it could miss out on sales. Also, like, what is your game's format? Does it have opportunities for, there to be like in-app purchases or whatever? Obviously not on the Game Pass, but like eventually when you continue playing the game, what is the life cycle of the game? There's a lot of things you got to think about. As for the consumer behaviors it's built, I do feel like there is a problem with it, to be honest. And that's just in the ecosystem in general with that. If people tend to not purchase games if they know that they can get it included in their subscription. But, I'm a Game Pass user. I have that sometimes that similar mentality. But if I really like a game, I'll buy it because I want to keep it forever. So I don't know. It's a lot to think about. It has trained some markets to wait it out and not purchase games, which is a bummer, especially when deciding what you want your effort to be for porting a game to certain platforms. And I don't know. It did fill a market, though, for like the blockbusters and Hollywood videos, because those consumers, we still rented games and didn't buy them. We just played them. And so it is definitely something as well. It's just, I feel like Game Pass contracts should be shorter for things. And I feel like that would make more sense for the platform. But I do not personally have a fix or a judgment on that. It's just yes and no. There you go. Yes and no. It also depends what your IP is, if it's popular or not, and if it's profitable or not, and if it just made sense for your studio. I don't know. There's a lot to it,
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up because I think it's interesting the way that the discussion went for this with just subscriptions and Game Pass in general, because based on, so Matt Piscatella covers like Circana spending in the US for video games, and he shared a couple of interesting pieces of information here when it comes to this. And let me see if I can pull this up. There we go. So one thing had to do with just video game subscription spending reaching an all-time monthly high in May of 2025, which is $600 million in the US for like 1 month. And that's his third consecutive month of growth. And naturally, people are saying games cost a lot of money. I mean, they keep going up in terms of price. We hear about Outer Worlds 2 being $80, but it'll be on Game Pass day one as an example. Or just people in general, like, hey, if I subscribe to this, my kids will leave me alone and they can just play what's on there. Even PlayStation Plus Extra Premium just has a large library of games that if you buy a system and you don't have, let's say, a physical library, there you go, just play whatever's on there. So that is something that is being brought up. But I will say, as he talked about this, there was something else he mentioned down here that caught my eye. And I feel like we've talked about this a lot, where he says that the top 10 live service games sucking nearly half of all gaming hours from the PlayStation, Xbox Series X ecosystem for any other games even get a taste is a far bigger threat than the submodel. And if you consider the live service games right now and how much they actually control in terms of revenue from the industry, that is a challenge right now. And it's something that I think about more than subscription services when it comes to the big problem the gaming industry is facing right now. So let's say you have a game that's coming out that has a budget of $200 million. And you have to go up against people's time being spent with Fortnite, with Apex Legends. You can say like FC, FIFA. I know it's like a yearly thing, but people just buy that and play it all the time. It's like you immediately lose half the people outright, because Sony also published their PlayStation Business segment, and I was looking through there as well and noticed something else with it. They had a very, very similar information, which Sony in general, they tend to have the largest share when it comes to third-party support, like in terms of just sales. So usually when they show their information, you can look and go, okay, what are we dealing with here? And they say the past 3 fiscal years, 22, 23, 24, more than half of revenue each year goes to Fortnite, Genshin Impact, Call of Duty, which would be like Warzone, Roblox, etc. All the live service games. The other half is made up of 8,000, 9,000, or 12,000 games, like for sales.
Mhm.
So you just immediately lose half of that, of the entire industry in terms of sales to those games. And they're not really going away. Fortnite just gets bigger, I feel like, every single year. I know, Josie, you played a lot. You could probably test to that.
It's just, I think it's consumer behavior though too. Like obviously, like those like Fortnite, Roblox, Genshin, those are free games. So I don't know if people are like dealing with stuff or trying to save money, like you could do that. And like that's what I did. I played Fortnite forever, like without spending anything on it. And I eventually got the battle pass because of that. But it's just like, I don't know, like it feels weird to like dislike a game because it's successful to me, but I do understand that it isn't super positive for the gaming industry, but that's also consumer behavior. So if you want to capitalize on that, I don't know if I know how to do it different, I guess. I don't know. It feels like it's not like, I don't know. It just feels like a weird problem to me, to be honest.
Well, the game's clearly successful if it pulls that much interest and that much revenue.
Yeah.
But then it makes things very more difficult, I'll say, for any game that comes out now versus a game that came out 10 years ago.
Totally. But it's like the games that are smaller, like the indie titles and stuff, I don't think the Fortnite audience would even be into seeing what that could look like. Most of them.
Well, I think those indie games in general would have lower expectations than. So one example that's probably coming out in the next, I'll say 6 or 7 months, Battlefield. There's word that game is going to have a $400 million budget. And they're hoping they put out apparently this expectation of 100 million players. I don't think that's happening.
It's just like Fortnite and Roblox did good because they had no fucking budget at all. And like it was a tiny game to start.
When it first started, yeah.
Tiny, but like it was small. So then it just like was able to grow as the audience started to come, I feel like. And so like it's weird to me like that people put this much stake into games that are not going to do well, and then like they don't do well, and it's shocking. Like it just doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why would you not just like make sure that there's a player base who care about your product?
Right. No, you're correct about that. That's even though I was annoyed to hear some of the direction of like the new skate game, for example. They've been building that thing with a smaller team and a lower budget for like 2 years in alpha servers and dealing with the community, helping them. I look at that like, okay, maybe the game will actually be better because of that, rather than here's the game, you need to like it. It's like, oh, well, maybe they could have helped you with feedback. But did you play Fortnite when it was just Save the World back in the day? When it wasn't Battle Royale?
I played it when it was Save the World and Battle Royale. So it was like not at the very beginning, but like right when it first got that Battle Royale part. And then I played like a little bit of Save the World. I mean, obviously like wasn't my favorite thing. And I just liked Fortnite because it's so widely accessible. Also, all those games are so widely accessible. They're on everything. Fortnite is on everything. Roblox is on everything. Minecraft is on everything. So I think that is also, why they're so big. Like people who aren't gamers play Fortnite constantly. People who aren't gamers play Roblox. Kids,
It's a social platform.
It is. I mean, Fortnite, like I got on there, especially during COVID, and played so much with my like high school friends just to like keep in touch. And like we just like talk to each other like we would on the phone, but we just are also playing Fortnite,
Sure. No, absolutely. I mean, even back in the day, it was like people play like RuneScape and stuff, and it would be like a Second Life, it'd be like their social platform. Now it's Fortnite. You just drop it and try to murder 99 people. Yeah. I mean, that's how it was, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I loved RuneScape. That Gaia Online, Maple Story, all those games.
I remember all those. I remember that.
I played Fortnite recently too.
Did you?
Yeah, I just tried it out on Switch too. I played like a zombie rogue game, like where you just
yeah,
Oh, what, like waves of the hordes and
Yeah,
stuff
like,
come out at you?
yeah, you're like in an underground like bunker thingy, and like and there's like 4 people, and you just like shoot
Yeah.
waves of enemy like each room, and then you get like a new weapon or whatever, and it's just like you just keep going till you die or something.
Yeah. It's also like Fortnite, there is like no barrier to entry. I think that's part of it too. And a lot of those games, there's 0 barrier to entry. If you have a device that can do any, like, and especially like mobile gaming is huge. Like, so that I think also just plays a role.
Yeah, you also don't need an online subscription on any of the consoles now because it's a free to play game. So you just download and play, and that's it.
Yeah.
They even had voice chat built in.
Yeah, they did.
For
On the
Switch
Switch One. Yeah.
Which is so weird when that happened. I remember that as a big thing.
Yeah.
So that's what the gaming industry has to contend with right now. I don't know. People thought this might have been a trend for a while, the live service thing. I think it's lasted long enough to where it's not a trend now, and it's something that's an obstacle almost, it feels like. I don't even know if the user base is going to age out of it necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. But also like a lot of the user bases of like Fortnite and stuff like that, like what other games would they really be playing? Like mobile games maybe? Like it seems like a very casual audience. And similarly to Roblox, unless you're like insanely good at it. But most like people who are like Fortnite gamers, that is their category that they like. It's like Counter-Strike. It's like a shooter thing.
Sure.
So I don't know if it really, to me, it just feels like different audiences. It doesn't feel like it really cannibalizes too much. But I also am speaking as someone who consumes it and likes Fortnite, so I don't know.
My daughter's super into Roblox, and I ask her, do you want to play something else? She always just says nope. She just wants to play Roblox with their friends.
And it's I think it's like a friends thing too. A lot of like my little cousin, I don't really understand Roblox very much, but my little cousin was into it. And she just like
one of the olds when you go around. You're one of the olds too.
Yeah. Well, she's like our one little cousin. And then
Be that person, but make sure that voice chat is protected on your kid's
Oh,
account.
yeah.
Because there's a lot of weirdos on Roblox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But I don't know. She plays that a lot, so I was just like, I don't really get
I see Minecraft. Minecraft's very popular with my kids right now. And I looked at it. I was like, let me set this up. They got a huge marketplace of stuff. It's almost like it is like its own live service thing again. So
Minecraft has always been popular though, like forever since it came out. Like I remember playing it as a kid, like so much. I played like hours of Minecraft as a child.
I remember I was working at the store way back when. This has been like 2010. And I swear I remember a person coming in and was like, "Oh, I was checking out this game called Minecraft in 0.8 alpha. This thing's gonna be awesome when it finally releases." Like, all right, whatever you say, dude. Now
you predicted it.
It's just some random person that came in, but I specifically remember that. And then we got Minecraft in on the 360. It was like a $20 physical game. I was like, huh. There you go. I guess it worked out. Anyway, it wasn't the person who made it. It's just a person who found it in the early days and was like, "Oh, we're playing this alpha Minecraft thing." Okay.
I had friends pitch Minecraft to me to play too. I get it.
Yeah. This is like a regular customer come in.
I never played it until my daughter was like, "Hey, I want to play Minecraft." So then I downloaded it on like I think like the Xbox One, and we were playing it on there, and I'm like, "Man, I don't like this crap," but I was playing it with her.
You have to be creative. Like it depends.
Yeah.
It's like what you make of it.
Exactly.
During COVID, I had like this server with like all of my friends. And it was fucking awesome. And we would go to war with each other. It was like phenomenal. We had all these storylines and like we'd just take each other's stuff and like we had like this and people would be like banished. Like it was a whole thing. So like
I bet it's that seems awesome. That
it's
definitely
really
seems
fun if you get really into it, but it's a game that you don't really casually play. Like I get into Minecraft for like 3 months where it's the only thing I play, and then I don't touch it for like a year or two.
It's that social aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like the most common thing with all of those top performing games is how social of games they are and just how easy they are to like game after game after game keep going.
Yep. No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's how, for me, if I had to go back in time, that's how it was with like Halo 3. Exactly that same way. Everyone's get on, we'll play some rounds, then it ends up being like 2 a.m. and it's like, oh, we got to be up for school in like 4 hours.
Oh man, I remember doing LAN parties on the weekends, like with the big old CRTs with Halo 1, and we would play that all free. We'll play that till like 3-4 a.m. man.
It was like a 32. It was like a
Yeah.
27-inch. And we had to carry it down the street. And I swear they had to watch two like 14-year-olds, one on each side of the CRT, carrying it down the street.
Let me tell
Like,
you
what
something,
is
man. We
happening?
all got I already
That's
lifted,
crazy.
but the
Yeah,
homies,
that's how it was.
the homies got bigger arms because we were so busy always lifting up CRTs, man. I'm telling you, it was a
It
workout.
was crazy.
Then, like, as I hung up with all the basketball dudes back then, and you know, they didn't really lift like that. But I'm telling you, by the end of the year, they had some arms because of lifting up CRTs.
CRTs
all
were
the
like
time.
80 pounds each or something. It was crazy.
Every weekend we would play. We'd play Saturday and Sunday. Every weekend we'd play, and we'd be lifting TVs over to people's houses to play and tournaments and stuff like that. So yeah, that's like the new, you know, stuff for today's day. You know, like what we did back then. It's a lot easier now, though. Like it's a lot way easier now to play
You
games.
just jump in Discord.
Yeah. You just
Yeah.
back then it was like, no, you got to be in person. You got to bring the TVs. You know.
That's why when Halo 2 came out, it was this massive deal because you could play it on
Huge deal.
Xbox Live. Is huge. Yeah.
Huge deal. Xbox Live was huge, man, because it really brought like how the internet works right now and how everything works right now is basically Xbox Live for consoles at least, you know. So.
Yeah. Let me go over here. Let's see. Oh, good. We do have some Patreon questions. Good. Let me go over to the PlayStation. PlayStation is technically multi-platform now, as they are publishing a game on the Xbox, and this is the first time that they themselves are publishing a game there. They've had some weird things like Death Stranding went to the Xbox, but 505 Games published that, so it wasn't Sony. This is just Sony outright. Helldivers 2 going to the Xbox August 26th, same day, by the way, as Gears of War Reloaded, which is kind of funny. But they're doing it. Helldivers 2 is one of those live service success stories for Sony, but it is their franchise. It's their intellectual property. They've had it. I mean, the first one was the PS4, gosh, like 10 years ago or something now, a little more than that. So it's been around with them for a while. Helldivers 2, though, going to the Xbox, it caused some conversation online the day it was announced because it kind of seemed like, I mean, no one really saw that coming. There were discussions about it a year prior with a rumor that it would happen, and I'd say 90% of people did not believe it was a thing. Like, there's no way. And then Sony, out of nowhere, it's coming to Xbox. This was the week before, so this would have been like us going to too many games. So it's a little older now, but it has such an impact on how people viewed PlayStation overnight, basically. Because now it's like, oh, maybe they would publish other stuff there, or maybe they would put something on the Switch too. Although Patapon 1 and 2 coming out. Go ahead,
Isn't like like it's a live service game. We just talked about how successful Fortnite is, so I'm just assuming that it's just because they want a bigger audience. And like that works really well for like games that, you know, need a huge player base, but like for their like single party stuff, I can't imagine them. That's like such a big selling point of like getting a PlayStation.
I think people are looking at it, and that's definitely true. But people are looking at it now because you do have Sony licensing games to be on other platforms, so like Freedom Wars, Patapon, like John said. I think there's another game that I missed, but there's something like that. And then also you look at the Horizon game too. So like that was also co-developed by them. That's a first party, you know, character, and they put that on Switch as well.
Like the Lego game?
Yeah, the Lego game.
I think they just like line it up with what makes sense. Like Panapon, or I don't even know how you say that, but that makes sense on the Switch as well.
Yeah.
Like the audience fit.
And the thing about it, that what people were saying, well, it doesn't matter about that where it makes sense. They're not going to do the first party big games. They're going to do little license stuff. They're going to do old PSP games or whatever, but they're never going to do anything that's like PlayStation 5, like, you know, and then this happened. So I think that's where the whole, oh my gosh, okay, that's actually like.
But then that is like a live service game. And that's like.
I understand.
Jumping in this, Josie, I agree with Josie on this. Friendly reminder, user acquisition is way more expensive to try to convince someone to purchase a console and switch over for a game. It is much easier for user acquisition to publish on another, you know, sure, you lose that cut of it or whatever, but you're still able to earn that percentage of the sale of a customer base that you wouldn't have normally gotten on your base console. It is significantly cheaper to do that. Is that the right choice for all games? No, of course not. But for certain games, like, live service games, that actually makes approach where they'll have a more profitable future with it. So Josie's, I strongly agree with Josie on that. It's a financial decision. But
So
single player games, I don't see that need.
so what
And
about a game like Gran Turismo? That I think that would also be like where that would also cause some, because that's like a live service game. There's live service stuff in that game. So if they put, I think that would still cause a big stir because that's still their
That could. I
flagship
think there's a
type of
lot more
game,
history
flagship.
there. There's a
Yeah,
lot more
you're right.
history.
it depends. I feel like they have different tiers of standard of what they're not standard, but you know what I mean? Like of what IPs they hold near and dear.
Yeah, I think it's like worth like worrying about, I guess, in like the way that people are, like if they port like God of War or something, like their big things. But
What if they moved Horizon to the Switch 2? Would that throw you off?
that would be weird. I mean, like I
Like
see
Zero
that.
Dawn,
I understand.
like Zero
Yeah,
Dawn,
that
the
would
game
be
from
weird.
like 2017 or
I
something.
get the
like
Lego
that.
game
So,
because that's just like
sure.
Lego's really big, but I think that would be kind of weird.
Okay. I've thrown that idea around a lot. I'm like, I wonder how people react to that if Zero Dawn, like the remastered one they did, if they just threw that on the Switch too.
It's
Be
weird
like,
though because
hey,
they feel like they don't really like take the Switch as like competition. So
Hmm.
like also like I feel like it would be weird, but like not as weird as putting that on an Xbox
right.
because they are
Right.
like direct competitors more so. At least in
Yeah,
their
that it's interesting because the Xbox has been thought of as we've already discussed this a lot. The idea that there's the user base doesn't necessarily buy as many games because they rely on Game Pass. But Sony must have some kind of data. Them or Arrowhead, which they do Destiny 2. That's a game that they have on the Xbox because of the Bungie acquisition. They have that kind of data. MLB The Show is another game they put on the Xbox through Major League Baseball, naturally. So they have to have some kind of data that says this port is worthwhile because it's not on Game Pass. It's a $40 game and they're selling it in August right next to Gears of War. So they must have something that says this is valuable to us and we should do it because we think we'll come out, on the positive end of this. It also seemed like Arrowhead kind of wanted to do it too. They're not owned by Sony. So if you're Arrowhead and you're just looking to get more people in for your game that you're making with Sony's franchise, you're probably going to push for that.
Yeah.
So you're right. It looks weird right now because it's like PlayStation. If you look on the Xbox storefront, it says PlayStation Publishing LLC. That was kind of strange. I think you're right in the sense that if we see God of War, then it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of a big thing.
Yeah, like then they're really gonna be thinking about it. But I think until like we see some flagship franchises, it's like not that strange to me. But I'm also an outsider and I'm not that into like I like PlayStation. I have a PS5, but I'm not like that plugged into PlayStation.
Do you think we'll ever get the Nintendo PlayStation? Like 30 years
like
later.
they like bring it to NSO.
Yeah.
And they like put like the
what a funny collaboration that'd be if they did like one of the mini systems. They're like, here's 5 games we were going to have on it, and let's just throw it on there, and you could just buy
that would
it.
Be so cool, Loki.
It's like a collector's piece.
That'd be cool.
I feel like it would be the Philips CDI games because that's what they took the license to. Their fuck you was to go to sorry language. Was to go to Philips CDI. So we would just get a Wand of Gamelon, real cool port. And
I gotta buy it.
That would be awesome. That would be so funny.
Weird comment, but I fantasize about going to a thrift store and picking up a Philips CDI, and I think it's like a VHS player or something, so they like have it priced accordingly. And I think about that sometimes. It won't happen. I wanted
to do like a series where like on my YouTube where I like went back and like played those like
please games. Okay, if you ever do that, I will share with you so many failed consoles. Apple Pippin, Casio Loopy. That's the console for girls. It came with stickers and it had it was great. Dude, there's so many we could discuss together. Sorry, I just got excited off track this. Okay.
I think to your point though, OJ, about Gran Turismo, that would make sense on PC, but I think that would also cause a stir if that happened because it is such a PlayStation franchise. But the simulation racing right now is up for grabs because Forza is kind of on the outs right now. Forza Motorsport, not Horizon. Big opportunity there if they decide to do it, but that would kind of still pile on the the multi-platform thing.
Wow, Forza's doing really good on PlayStation as well. Or sorry, yeah, Forza's doing. I think they said 3 million copies now. I think I saw
Horizon,
something.
yeah, Horizon got to be the arcadey one. The Forza Motorsport team at turn 10 basically got laid off.
Yeah, that one got. But I'm talking about Forza, the one that came out already
Horizon.
on.
Yep.
Yeah, Horizon. Yeah.
So I kind of look at Gran Turismo as one that makes sense to go to PC, but I think that would be like that would cause not equal amounts, because Helldivers really confuse people, but it would cause a stir.
You had some of the just to kind of give you guys a backstory. Like, I honestly don't care, but like some of the backstory with this is that like you had some of the biggest names in PlayStation. We had some of the biggest guys. We had a guy with the biggest podcast, PlayStation podcast. He's saying it's never going to happen. I've talked to people. It's not happening with Helldivers, right? So once again, that's like the biggest PlayStation names were all saying that. So I think that's why it came up like, oh man, it's it's like a big deal, even though it's a live service game. That people were saying that it wasn't going to happen, even saying that they have sources that said that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I wasn't as against it as much, because I had Never Say Never come up to me at one point. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll leave it be then with that whole Helldivers 2 rumor. And look at that, there we go, like a year later it actually happened. So I guess you never know. It did sound weird though when that rumor was first going around, but here we are. Let me see, I have some Patreon questions to check out, and just want to double check the super chats here. Where did I leave off? Here we go. And okay, Anthony says Splatoon 3 on Switch 2 is great. It's brought me back to the game and has replaced Mario Kart World. I've been playing Splatoon 3 as well with one of the kids, because they got a kick at, they love Splatoon. Which if you go on the Switch, it lets you check the hours that they've played games, and Splatoon 3 is like 100 hours or something for them already. Not like since the update, but like since it came out, like they really like Splatoon 3, and they actually play online and they do all right. So he's 6, so it's like, oh wow, good job.
Question: is Splatoon fun? I missed out on Splatoon.
It's
I did not have a Wii U.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I never got a Wii U, and by the time I got a Switch, everyone was Splatooned out of like my friend group. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm not getting this.
Celia, if you get it, we should stream it together. It's so good. Splatoon 3 is
Splatoon
great.
3 has
all
a
these
Switch.
games. Darn it!
It has a Switch 2 update, so it's like 4K 60.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
It's actually pretty good. Yeah,
I've played a ton of Splatoon over the years. Like, I think I probably have. I have 100+ hours in like all of them so far. Even like the Wii U one, I know I put a ton of time. I actually played that when I first played it at E3 back in like, was it 2014 or whatever. I remember playing it at first. I was thinking this game's, even though the Wii U was doing terrible, this game's going to be huge. Like, it's going to be a great game. So I've always liked it. I thought it's really fun. And like, you can do dual wield, like you have these dualies. It's so super cool. And like, you can roll all over the place. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Yeah, you should actually pick that up, Celia, if you get a chance.
Okay.
That should be fun.
We could play it for Game and Talk.
That'd be fun. Okay.
Let's see. Orphan says, thoughts on Nintendo banning so an overused game and how this will affect companies like GameStop or GameFly. That was on so on Facebook, this was shared on Reddit, and they managed to get it unbanned by going to Nintendo's customer service. I will say, I had mentioned this in the video before about it. I think these are going to be very rare occasions right now, because the stars have to align for you getting that cartridge, and there aren't as many people with MIG switches and stuff out there, but it is a legitimate thing that would cause you to have to call Nintendo's customer support line. And this sort of the story that's been making the rounds will cause some, I'd say, paranoia around used games, because the idea is if you dump a cartridge, it has unique identifier attached to it, which then, let's say you then sell or trade the game, but you still have the backup that you use on your Switch, and Nintendo's detected it. Somebody else uses that cartridge that you sold because they bought it secondhand. Their Switch 2 gets banned.
That's annoying. But yeah, no, that feels like a unique case, and it's not really going to be a standard, right? Right, guys?
I mean, it's based off people using the MIG switch. I mean, how many people have that? But I think the problem is that, like, right there, even in the comment, it's like just people are spreading it as, it's just a used game, any used game, and it's like,
well, no, this is the same thing as the third-party charger dock thing, where like, there was like a one-off issue, and then that got solved, and then everyone was super afraid of third-party docs after that, even if it was fixed. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna
it's
be based
working
off of people with MIG switch. Like, so how many people have a MIG switch? How many people rip it and then then sell the game that they have? Then sell that.
Right.
So that's what it's gonna be based off of.
Yep, it's worth being aware of, because if it somehow happens to you, the person at least detailed how they managed to get it unbanned when talking with customer support.
I feel like it'd be an easy fix, and was an easy.
It was
fix.
an explanation. Apparently, they had to take pictures of the listing that on Facebook that they bought from the show that they bought.
So they can come kill them. I mean, find them.
Yeah, right.
The Nintendo ninjas.
Dude, Nintendo's their lawyers do not mess around.
Johnny says, "Can we get your longest Dreamcast guy?" That was it. Out of breath. VRG says, "I remember wasting endless nights on WoW. I never got into World of Warcraft. I remember when I worked at GameStop way back when, the guys there were in it and they tried, and I was just like, I don't get this. It's not clicking for me. At level like 30 or 40 back then. I was content.
WoW's kind of having like a resurgence right now. It's pretty big.
WoW is World of Warcraft. It's like classic, right? And then they go back and they're like, hey, you guys hate on the new stuff. Here's classic World of Warcraft. It's like,
yeah, just like a bunch of streamers got into it too, like last couple of years.
I think I got more into DC Universe Online. I think that was the one I got into. And Guild Wars, like the first Guild Wars when that came out.
I got kind of into Pokemon Unite for a little bit, which is like similar but Pokemon based.
Yeah,
I played Unite for like a hot minute.
Yeah, I did. I got into Unite for probably about 2 to 3 months. I was into that game quite a bit.
That's how I was too.
Yeah, and then I think I even went back to it after like a year or so. But apparently it runs way better on the Switch too.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And okay, Mechas Omar says, so we ever getting native versions of the Switch cloud games, Switch 2? Kingdom Hearts? I'm looking at you first. Square's got to go back and make that Kingdom Hearts situation right. Come on. I played it on the Steam Deck. So I plugged the Steam Deck into the Switch 2 dock just to do it. And I was able to play Kingdom Hearts because they have that on the Steam Deck. It's through Steam. Kingdom Hearts through the Switch 2 dock and all this. I was just checking it out. 120 frames and everything, no problem.
Dang.
Like VR on. So yes, the dock supports variable refresh rate. There you go, HDR. But the game runs really well on the Steam Deck. Square, come on, you got to get this. Although they'll show up with a game key card, and that'll be that. So, I think that's all of those.
My cat was hunting a fly, so I was making a weird
Oh.
face because he was like cackaying. You know, when the cats make the hunting noises, and I was very scared of what was in this room. And I saw a little fly. Yeah, I was like, what is in here? Another spider? No, so he's hunting right now. He's very focused. Sorry for interrupting. Continue.
I did not get into Star Trek Online. I did not. Wasn't it? You can. You should watch the video tomorrow that's going up. There you go. Let me check the questions here that we have with Patreon to finish up with. Okay. Christian says, do you think we'll see any official alternatives to the game vouchers or gold coins program for Nintendo for the Switch 2 gen, or is that as we know it gone? So the voucher program did end, or it's ending beginning of 2026 January, and the gold coin stuff that, of course, they were talking about that ending as well. I'd like to think so. I mean, it's now is when we need that because we have $70 and $80 games from Nintendo. That was nice to have. I know it made it so you had to buy it digitally, and if you want physical, you're not going to do that. But it's a nice alternative. I like the idea of a rewards program. The gold coins were awesome. I did use that a lot.
Yeah, the
smaller
gold
games.
coin,
I piled them up.
The gold coin stuff was awesome because it also worked with review codes. So
there you
Free
go.
money.
OJ, that's incredible.
No, it did. It worked with review codes. So I just got like a ton of gold coins. So please, Nintendo, bring that back.
The gold
Sure,
coins
we'll
the
get
one that hurt.
something.
That one hurt the most.
Yes,
Like,
gold
vouchers.
coins
I'm like,
hurt
I
the
didn't really
most.
use them. Gold coins.
Yeah.
Really? Gold coins.
Hopefully they make some new system.
Yeah, I'd like to think they have to reevaluate it with their pricing now on how all that works. But bring back gold coin stuff.
Please bring back gold coin. That was terrible. That was a terrible ending of that. So please bring that back.
This is from Zach, who says, "Hey, all, I would just like to know what games characters would you say have influenced the most in your life? I thought about what Celia was saying about Banjo-Kazooie on N64 and how that solidified her love for gaming, and I wanted to know what game it was for the rest of you." Character that would solidify.
Mine's so cliche. I guess it's two.
What is it?
Mario 3, Mario Bros. I played Mario 1 and I thought that was incredible. But when I played Mario 3, I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna be playing games forever, like till I die. Mario 3 was the game, and then Chrono Trigger was the game that made me say I love RPGs. Like those are like my favorites. So Chrono. So I'd say Mario and Chrono are like the two influential.
Yeah, Mario is the usually the obvious answer for people. What were you gonna say, Josie?
I was gonna say Mario Galaxy.
Okay, all right, Galaxy.
Mario.
But Mario. And then also, like, when I played Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a platformer person. These are great.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Donkey Kong was huge. Oh, my gosh. Donkey Kong was great back when it came out.
Yeah, I just did, like, a video going through all of them. Like, the old ones.
That's so cool.
For this, I don't know how you kept, like, saying that entire way through. I would have lost my mind with some of those
I did.
games.
I actually very nearly broke this chair. It was very close.
Are you going to play 64?
Yeah, once it comes to NSO.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can lend it to you. I have an extra N64. And
You're kidding.
I have 3.
I'll take. Yeah, I mean, I'll
lend you one.
I'll do it for a little.
Play it with the how it was meant to be played
with the OG hardware. Can you plug one of those into a capture card?
I don't know, actually.
No,
we'll probably need like the converter, like
HDMI converter.
Do you have a CRT?
Yeah. No.
We can just film here. I have a TV. I have Cat.
Okay.
I have
CRT.
Okay, well, yap about it then.
But I guess the risk of not also saying Mario, I'll say Mega Man on the original Nintendo, Mega Man 2. That's just a video game.
Yes, that is a video game. Yes. You just get right into it, man. You just boom, you see the 8 character, jump into it, get your ass whooped, and then you learn it out on the go, you know? I remember playing Mega Man a lot back in the day.
It's just a kid with a cannon, and he just goes up, blow stuff up, and that's it. Platforming that you're gonna get really annoyed at, but when it all comes together, it was great. And then they had the cartoon for Mega Man. It all came together.
Yes.
Which cartoon are you?
Early 90s cartoon.
You remember that? Super Fighting Robot Mega Man.
I watched that to impress Kevin in the early days because he was like, I really love Mega Man. I'm like, I love Mega Man. Let's watch it. And I had to sit through all of it.
Yeah, watch the cartoon. That was it.
I can't do that. I remember one time before I got married, there was this girl that I wanted to date. She's like, I like Overwatch. I was like, yeah, me too. I was like fucking Overwatch.
There was the block. It was what was on the block? It was I feel like it was, I want to say it was Mega Man and Street Sharks and something else.
Yeah, because
that was the block though back then.
For me, for Mega Man, like I love the Battle Network games. I'm original Mega Man, like I did not really have much experience in that. So that was Mega Man 64 was also what I played, and that was horrible. So
really? Man.
Dude, have you went back and played Mega Man 64?
I played Mega Man Legends. Mega Man Legends on the PS1. Yeah. I played it somewhat recently. Like last year.
Why?
What? Oh,
the N64 part was horrible. Or maybe that's just the standard. I don't know. We'll find out together.
John almost felt
I'll go back and play it a third time and then just.
Josie, you should play it so you could just annoy everyone next year.
Oh no. And 64 games and I don't really get along very well. So
it's a PS1 game.
It's also a PS1.
Mega Man Legends.
Have you played Croc, Josie?
No, but I almost got Crockery Remastered. I don't remember when that came out, but I was interested.
Okay.
Mega Man X is usually what I recommend to people nowadays. That is, I think, like the pinnacle 2D Mega Man game now. Mega Man X, start with the first one, then go from there.
Also, I wasn't hating on Croc. I was just saying that the controls are very similar to Mega Man 64.
Yeah, but Mega Man's like a adventure game. Croc's
I'm just saying the controls because you're using the Nintendo 64 D-pad with that game.
Yeah, because they made it for a D-pad. Because they made it for the
because they did. It was a port, and I get that. Yeah. So I was about to describe it to Josie similar to Croc, except it's a bad Mega Man game.
You stop and you spin like that. It's like
yeah, but it's like
thing and you're walking.
N64 and like everything's just all polygon shit, and it's just
Yeah, it all
might
shifts
make
when you move.
we
Yeah.
are not selling the Nintendo 64 to Josie right now. But Croc is great, so just have to.
Don't worry.
Noted.
The game's running at 10 frames per second will change your mind. No more.
I've been
Totally.
playing Mario 64 again.
Uh-huh.
which is
No,
really
not that
fun.
one. That one actually runs at a decent frame. There's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
good.
other games that
Have you played
Really
Gauntlet Legends for N64?
I have
play that on
God,
the
I love-
Dreamcast.
I love that game so much. Sorry, I'm
Play
just
it on
gonna
the
start.
Dreamcast.
Yeah, I'll just pull out my Dreamcast real quick and play it.
I have one. Do you want to play?
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Gosh. That'd be a rabbit hole to go down too, the Dreamcast.
God, I love the. I forgot how loud it is.
Medallions.
I didn't remember.
When it reads a game,
Yeah,
it goes.
okay.
Yeah, I like
goes
because you
crazy.
forget, and like I rebooted it up, and I was like, oh my god, like is it gonna catch on fire? Like, are we in trouble? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's just the sound
It
of the
goes
Dreamcast.
nuts when it needs to read a game and like load.
Singing you the song of its people.
Medallion says, I think I know how Nintendo can increase the appeal of game cards or game key cards. For the next Mario Kart entry, call it Mario Key Cart. But in all seriousness, do you really foresee Nintendo giving up key cards to go back to proper full games on physical media by making it mandatory with the 64 gigabyte carts, or increasing selection of cart sizes, or lowering the price of purchased 64 gigabyte carts if they cannot get them in more sizes? Maybe people are really interested in the game key card stuff. The next question is also about that from Vegeta. Wow, some Medallion and Vegeta. I'll read this one too. Just wondering, with the game key card situation, my understanding is there's only a 64 gigabyte cart option for devs. So for Nintendo first party games, why are those games all on cart, but not a lot of third parties? I like my Switch 2, but the game key card is an extreme downer for me as someone who buys only physical. Strange to me as well to see people who, like me, who all of a sudden change their stance on this because it's Nintendo doing it. Have a nice weekend. That was Vegeta. Let me double check to see if the next one's not about game key cards. Okay. All right.
Who changed their stance? That's what I want to know. Everybody bitching about it, like full stop. So who changed their stance? That's what I like. Everybody that I know is still like, nah, I like the physical games. So I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't see that.
As for the why they're doing it, is because they have to try to produce a lot of 64 gigabyte carts to try to bring the cost down.
Also, like I feel like they're more willing to eat that cost because of their these are their games for their system, you know. So like,
right. Yep. They're the platform holder.
Yeah.
So they want it to work. They kind of got to do it. Steven says, "Sup, spawners? I've been diving deep into the Remedy universe lately, playing their games and watching a bunch of media coverage. With Death Stranding 2 just dropping, I couldn't help but notice some similarities between the two studios, especially their love for esoteric layered storytelling. So here's my question. Is Remedy just as up its own butt as Kojima?" Well, maybe. Kind of, probably. You kind of have to be in that sense as like a creative like Kojima, and in this case people at Remedy. But Death Stranding 2 has been very good. I will talk about it more when I beat it. I'm 32 hours in, so I'm still delivering. I'm still rolling. But Remedy, I mean, Alan Wake 2, if you play that, they have some strange stuff that happens in that game. And they're connecting it all with control and stuff. They're very artistic. We'll go with that. Very artsy. Josie, you haven't played Patapon before, have you?
No.
I just realized that. Okay. Have you seen anything about it?
Wasn't it in a direct?
It was. It's like that, the rhythm, almost like adventure platform, almost like the little guys that go across, and it's
it seemed fine. I don't know. Like I don't have any nostalgia for it. I just thought it was like
I understand.
a smaller indie game. Similar.
Yeah,
to, like,
I understand that. It was from like the PSP days. I played the first one there, and it was fun. It was fun. Just throwing that out there if you end up being curious about it. I actually recommend that one for you if you're interested in kind of that Sony Nintendo crossover stuff.
Okay.
It is technically a Sony IP. It's out tomorrow now. People in the chat, when is that out? I feel like that's out like now. I Patapon.
Maybe if I finish DK fast.
Okay. It is out. Oh, wow. They gave it a 9 out of 10 on Steam. It is out. Eventually, Nintendo's page will load. Oh, it's out now. It just came out.
Oh.
It's $30.
Maybe once it goes on sale.
There you go. This is from DC Fat Cat. Got a Switch 2. Wanted to fill out the library. Is it worth buying Breath of the Wild for Switch 1 and just use the free upgrade through NSO, buy the Switch 2 version, or just skip and wait to see if there's another version in the future? I think if you have NSO, you take advantage of the upgrade path.
Yeah, I have NSO and I just get the upgrade. I have the physical cartridge of Breath of the Wild and I just play it that way and it's great. So yeah, that's what I would say to do. Because you don't got to do anything else. You just go there, you just download it, and bam, it works. So,
yeah, that's how I've experienced both Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I already had them. I just downloaded the update.
And it's so much better. It's like it's crazy how much better it is. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild runs like a new game. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Wild.
It's so much better this way. Especially if you played it at launch. Breath of the Wild was phenomenal, but it was rough at launch. Like it was.
You go in the forest, like in the woods.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And even just like sometimes like game crashes, depending on really crazy conditions, lightning, bokoblin, crazy stuff. Like it can just, your game can just crash it sometimes. Like depends on like weird stuff happening, which happened to me a couple times. Frame rate issues even outside of the forest, but like they did patch it. They did do like a couple patches to help it out, and it's better. But yeah, even if you play it on Switch 2 without the update, I think it locks it down at 30 and everything. So it even plays better without the update.
Ooh,
But of course, get the update though.
Celia, you're gonna pop in. I just realized that you're gonna pop in Pokemon in your Switch 2.
I haven't done that yet. Literally, as we're talking about this, I'm like, holy shit, I need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, what am I doing here? I need to go
Oh
do
my
that
gosh.
right now.
It is like night and day.
Yeah,
It's so
it
much
is.
better.
I will test this out literally. Like,
It makes it to
when
where
we all
it's
stop
actually
talking.
playable. I got through the game and it's fun, but it's just so bad. And I mean, you already know this.
Yeah, I was there. Yes.
Yeah, you were there. So we've talked about this a million times.
I bought it and I was, oh god, I didn't finish
Yeah.
the DLC. I have so many Pokemon to catch. So many little buddies.
Yeah.
Wait, I could stream it. I could
Yes.
You
stream-
could.
You
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Go
Do it
shiny
for
hunting.
first.
Just put shiny hunting in the top, and all of a sudden people just start showing up. Like,
But the
Yeah,
joke is
but-
like I'm not shiny hunting. I'm just catching
oh,
anyone.
don't
and
worry,
everyone.
they'll let you know that you're not.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
I'll,
crazy how shiny Pokemon have become like such a thing. Like there's such a culture around it and collecting them all. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'll get you that capture card out to you so you can do that.
Bless. I also
Yeah,
need
we'll do
step-by-step instructions on how to use it.
It's-
I can.
It's super
I'll just tell you
easy.
that.
You just
That's pretty
I'm
download
such a
Streamlabs
boomer, like-
OBS, plug in a HDMI. They're actually built to be super easy these days.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Yeah.
Do you have OBS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know how to use OBS and I know how to like do
Oh.
basic stuff.
Okay.
but,
Yeah,
like-
It's
you're
good. The cards are like super duper easy.
okay, cool.
It's from Big Boss. Says, hope the cast's doing well this week with Metal Gear Delta releasing soon. What do we think is the next Metal Gear game to come out on consoles and PC? And is there a possibility of a Switch 2 port for Delta this year? This year, I don't know. There's going to be a port of Delta for the Switch 2. I don't know if it's going to make it out this year. But what do we think is the next Metal Gear game to come out after this one? I assume it's going to be that Collection 2 that'll have Metal Gear Solid 4 in it. That would be my assumption. So they'll go this release, Collection, and then come back. And I have to assume they're remaking Metal Gear Solid 1. That game does need a new remake. So that's how I figured it would go. But I'm very much looking forward to Delta. I'm so happy. We're like 6 weeks away, and we're going to have multiplayer mode. I'm ready for this game. That's going to be great. Wait a minute. I just realized, Josie, you have not played Metal Gear before, Metal Gear Solid. This is perfect. This is perfect because they're doing it in like chronological order. So Delta that's coming up is technically the one you can buy and play through right away at the end of August or beginning of September or for the holiday
Okay, maybe I will.
or next year or in
This doesn't
2028.
seem like a
What
Josie
is-
game. I'll
It
be honest,
doesn't.
it really
It
doesn't.
Josie, what is your like we're all suggesting games to you list? Because I feel like it's like
It's pretty long, right?
Humongous.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's like
I used to write
Ocarina of
them
Time
down,
again.
and then the list got to
Yeah,
like 100
yeah,
or something, and
it's
I was
too
like,
many.
"This is fucking crazy."
It's too many.
I can't do it.
And
then, like-
it's like decades and decades.
And then
of
like I'm
games.
trying to get through college, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm
No,
stressed
just
out."
quit
I
school.
can't. Yeah, right.
Stay in your room.
Precisely.
Quit
Yeah.
school.
Quit
I
school,
almost-
never see the sun again.
I almost
like,
quit.
you don't-
I almost quit
you
school
don't
for Resident
need
Evil
it.
5.
Like,
You know,
you're fine.
So it can
Right.
happen.
So
You had the right idea when you were just streaming all these games. Like when you're playing the DK game, you're like, I'm gonna stream them then. That was the right idea.
I
Like,
mean,
I'm gonna play these games,
I
I'm
would
streaming 'em.
still do that, and I will stream them, but I just like I need time.
Okay, just not the
Same.
character select screen of Cyberpunk. Skip that. part.
Noted.
Okay. KL says DK will be my first physical Switch 2 pickup. I'm happy that Nintendo will continue shipping complete games on cart, but I really hope that smaller size carts become available to other publishers in the long run. Joe McKenna says, after playing Clear Obscure, I don't know how it doesn't near sweep any nominations it gets at the Game Awards. I haven't played Death Stranding 2, but between that and any upcoming titles, do you see any other big contenders for the Game Awards this year? Well, apparently we all think Donkey Kong will be up there at this rate. Just because
Mina the Hollower, I feel
Mina
like.
Hollower, there you go.
Yeah, I was like, I'm foreseeing a mouse with a night star.
Definitely indie game of the year for sure.
Oh my god, everyone please vote for Mina. It's not even out yet, but I'm like, please.
Indie game.
To see
be so cool.
Ghost of Yote, I think, has a shot. We'll see how that is when it comes out. I'm looking forward to it.
I definitely see Claire Obscure winning the game of the year, and I see
It
it
deserves it.
winning music, and I see it winning RPG, and I see it winning a lot. I see it winning best performance. I think Gustav or maybe Verso, one of those two, they're gonna win performance.
Charlie Goss be confused where he is. He's gonna walk in like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that quote by him, like in that interview? Or
I did. He felt like a fraud because he doesn't play games, and he was just like in the booth for like 4 hours, then like took off. And everyone's telling him, "Good job, man! Oh, you did great." He's like, "What the hell? For what?"
I'm filming. I got to film Daredevil stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I mean, I do see it winning a lot of awards. When it comes to the Game Awards, I see it winning a lot. Yeah.
Mind's Eye Game of the Year. That's right. And David says, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Also, what size screen are you reading this question off of? Is it 8 inches? That might be Sean's burner account, David.
That's most likely Sean's burner account.
Yeah, it might be Sean's burner. No. I think that's all of them here, though. Shout out to David, though. Let me double check to make sure I didn't miss any questions that came in while I was reading those. And I think there was like one other super chat. I think we're good there. Boom. And got that one. And Casual Gamers says use vouchers for Breath of the Wild Tears Game $100 plus expansion pack.
Nice.
There you go. Is that everything? That one. Endless Nights on WoW. That's good. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, let me go around here as we've finished everything. Look at that. Right on time, too. Perfect. Celia, where can one find you?
You can find me on Twitter /X. I'm Celia B with 3 E's. You can also find me on Instagram at @KosherGamer. And then lastly, you can find me on Game & Talk. I'm on a podcast with Josie and Sean, RGT85, and Nate. And I sometimes stream on there on Friday evenings at 6:30ish p.m. Next week, we're going to try to do Pokemon Snap. And when that doesn't work, we're going to do a Dragon Warrior game.
And it seems like all donations go towards art supplies there. So.
Yes. To make you life less crappy.
If you go by and donate to Celia, she draws you a picture of.
Oh, yeah. No, I do. I'm not very good at drawing. Hold on. Do I have any?
That's nice.
Okay. I draw. So there's a squirt. I don't know if this is going to show, but I drew a Pikachu. And
that was raw.
And
that's awesome.
It's
very nice of you.
And there was another one.
This is so sick.
I don't show you. But that's
what
like
banjo. Were you drawing like banjo?
Yeah, because someone asked me to draw banjo, and I was like, "Well, that's demented." And someone asked me to draw Sean because like I drew banjo.
Oh gosh.
So I drew banjo, and then someone had me draw Sean.
So
I drew.
That's just like him.
Lines
I love Hogan.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good. I took a art class in 2008 and 9.
Killed it.
Pretty.
It
In
looks
case
so
you guys
good.
are wondering.
It's exactly. You honestly showed us a photo of Sean.
The banjo looks like that one show. What's that regular show or something? I forgot what cartoon character.
Because I was gonna draw pupils, but then like it just looks like he's on drugs.
Yeah, it looks like the dude from regular show, like the
Oh yeah, the
like the scroll or whatever,
like
the
Mordecai,
raccoon or
yeah,
whatever. It looks like
Hell
him.
yeah. So yeah, come subscribe to Game and Talk, and then watch me stream too. It happens on Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. There you go.
She's about to get a capture card so you can stream Switch 2 Pokemon stuff. So there you go.
I can't promise if it's gonna get better, but yeah, all donations get me color pencils. Please and thank you.
Look at that. And OJ, where can everyone find you, sir?
Yeah, you find me right here on YouTube. Player Essence got some cool stuff coming up. Videos talk about RPGs and Switch 2. We got a giveaway going down for Donkey Kong. We got 3 copies and a big sponsored stream. So shout outs to the mods and the sponsors for this one. So we're going to be giving away a bunch of copies, and we're going to be playing the game, just the beginning part of the game. So if you want to win a copy, go subscribe to the channel Player Essence and check out the poll where you can vote. Drop a comment there. I pick them randomly. We gave away a Switch last week. So, or not last week, sorry, a couple weeks ago, we gave away a Switch, and we do pretty much big giveaways like every month. So I think that's pretty cool. The community's dope. So I appreciate it.
Is it this poll?
Are you entering?
Yeah, that's it. That's the poll.
So to enter, I am subscribed, just double checking.
Yeah.
And then I just click one of these and then comment.
Yeah, click one of those and comment.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. It's completely random. So yeah, you got a good chance. But I mean, over the course, not the like we've given away at least, I think I gave away at least 15 to 20 Switch ones. And we gave away more than 100 plus games. So you guys check out the community. It's awesome.
What about Josie? Where can I find you?
Find me on YouTube. At Josie, I do Nintendo Switch or Switch 2 and like retro game content. I just put a video out talking about all of the old Donkey Kong games and like the entirety of Donkey Kong Country. You should see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that this weekend.
Thanks. Yeah, other than that, I'm working on some stuff. I have like a little documentary almost that I made about from Too Many Games with like the Spawncast. There's a bunch of interviews and stuff, and some more fun stuff coming like from Too Many Games. I just have to edit it all. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Yep, and got my immediate reaction to dim sums, so that was good.
Right.
And are you gonna play Donkey Kong Bonanza this week?
I will. I will be live on Thursday when it drops.
There it is. There it is. Okay, you want to check that out? That'll be good. That'll be good. I think that's everything, though. I have everyone here linked down below in the description as well. Make sure you check them out. Go say hi on their channel or Celia's case, her Instagram, or on Twitter. All right, go check her out on Friday nights. Okay,
Yeah.
Friday nights ish, depending. It's Thursday this time. You get what I'm saying. Just go check her out. She streams.
Yeah,
we'll be live on Wednesday too for Game and Talk. So pull up
and live. Okay, good stuff. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be back next weekend to do it all over again. See you guys then.